fall, it never seems to end. I sat at my desk looking at all the paperwork that had accumulated, but somehow I hadn't made a dime from my business. Shit, I owed a lot of money. Oh, come on, not this guy again. Don't you know that whenever you're out, everybody thinks we're fucking crazy? You dumbass. Yeah, he's got a point. He's got a point. You do have a tendency to talk to yourself when you're in detective mode, Daniel. I'll take over. Oh, come on. This guy? No, this guy is such a bummer. Nobody wants to hang around him. No, next.
Morning, Daniel.
Morning. How's it going? Oh god, not this guy either. He's a fucking idiot.
I slept good.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Is my bed nice? Treated you well?
Yes. There's a few holes in it.
I wish it could be you, but sadly we're past that point.
I also took an apple from upstairs.
An apple, huh? Was it filling? Oh god, what the fuck is this guy? No, get out. This is kind of scary.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna be me. Yeah, I'm gonna be me. Don't worry about it. I'm just doing some paperwork. Yeah, that's it. That's what I was doing.
Paperwork?
Yeah, paper work. I have this book on my desk with stuff that I owe, because of reasons I owe a lot of money. So I'm just dealing with that that kind of stuff. But normal stuff.
You need money?
Yeah, but I'm working on it, so don't. Yeah, it's just I have a few debts to pay.
There's always good ways about getting things.
Right.
Don't hunt.
Yeah, I've been kind of actually struggling recently, trying to get some money for a while.
Maybe you can help people.
That was the goal. That was kind of why I set this thing up. Why Detective Dan set this place up. But honestly, I don't think I've seen a copper come from this, so it hasn't really been working too well. So I don't know, not the best detective, I guess. Oh my.
Copper.
Oh no, it's okay. You keep. You're gonna. I don't need your copper. I promise. Thank you. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I guess it's probably better to have it out of your body.
In my form, I swallowed a few pieces.
Yeah, I can tell. It's kind of been like the 4th time you've coughed up money. I doubt that's good for your health to have it in you.
I'll be fine.
Now,
Who's the man stuck in your wall?
Yeah, no, that's Administrator Fenrir. I mean, he's cool enough of a guy.
Not Loki?
Yeah, no, that's kind of like a racially charged term, from my understanding, so not a good one to use. So he prefers Fenrir, I guess one day all these popped up around here, and I just can't get it off the wall because it seems to be magically attached there.
It's nice to look at.
It's a little creepy sometimes, but I actually positioned myself here, so I got the pile of papers to block it from looking at me when I'm at my desk, which is honestly not that often.
So you're a detective, you said?
That's
What does that mean?
yeah, that's the idea. Uh, uh, yeah, that's the idea. It doesn't really hasn't panned out yet. I mean, I want to be able to help people out, but I've been having a lot of stuff going on recently, so I haven't been able to focus on other people as much.
That's fair. Focus on yourself first to feel better.
Right.
Then help others.
That's the goal.
That's what I did. People helped me, so I helped back.
It's like that's what people say, and they say, you know, I got to focus on myself and my own mental health and whatnot. It seems a little bit nebulous, so I don't quite even know where to start. But I mean, I'm taking care of some flowers, so I guess that's something. Maybe
A goal is what helps you survive.
right.
Set a goal. Keep moving towards it. My goal was to get better, and that's how I got here.
Yeah, right. I guess I'm something to do. I mean, I got the flowers, but that's not really going to take all day to keep me busy. What about...
You can try telling people about your business.
Right, I could. Yeah, there's that.
I don't know what detectives do.
Honestly, I don't really know either. I think they just solve people's problems and like get paid doing it. What's... I am missing doors here.
Okay?
Maybe I could finally work on making some doors.
Get doors.
Yeah, I mean, it does get a little cold in here. And I don't know if winter's coming this year, but, you know, typically it follows fall, so don't really want to be without any doors.
We can get wood.
Yeah, we could.
We cut down the trees that are closer nearby so we don't destroy any animal homes. It will be fine.
Okay, yeah, sure. Do you know anything about woodworking? I mean, I kind of know a little bit.
No.
Well,
I never have to cut wood. I just survived.
Yeah, then.
I just know of it because they did it and it destroyed a lot of homes. But I am also aware that homes are needed too. For you, with wood. So
Right.
if you go to the closer ones to the people, where animals are more scared and less likely to live, you can get wood without hurting.
Okay, yeah, I never really thought about it that way, but I mean, ideally wouldn't be hurting any animals, but...
As long as you make sure to replant after.
Okay, it's roughly...
It is the size of me.
Yeah, a little bit taller than you. Let's say like, there to there. Me plus this much. Okay. Nip to hip additional.
Oh.
Okay, so
I
that's
think I heard rocks.
oh, is yeah, okay. Well, I might add that to my list. Wood plus flowers plus a business advertisement, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, you know, if you, I guess I could start with you, right? If you ever have a problem you need solving, feel free to bring it to me at Daniel's Detective Agency. And the first one is free, and the second one we charge you. So that's our business model. It hasn't made any money yet, but I guess the goal is to like spread the word.
Maybe you should find out what a detective is fully first, before assuming your job.
Well, I mean,
Solving problems is very broad, and some people, like me, like to solve them myself.
right. I guess I
So
just want to
maybe do something more like, if you need assistance, maybe instead of a detective agency, whatever detective means, you can be a helper.
I kind of like the ring of Detective Daniel.
Hello, all. Good morning. We are bringing
also
back
fair.
our morning announcements. morning meetings.
Why is there a voice in my head?
This is our
Is that dinner?
basically a beta test for our
Where's the
global
voice coming
announcement
from?
system that we are implementing into the guild.
Uh,
But we are
What?
hoping
We're the only two
to
here.
have this as a regular thing.
I
Today
don't
we are
smell
going
anyone.
to be meeting in the library.
The
Please
library.
join me
That
there
the
in the
place
next 5
with
minutes, if you will.
everything, right? What magic stuff happened.
yeah, it's a book place. Let's go check it out. Hey team. Morning.
University student.
Hey.
Good morning.
I assume you had Fender talking in your head. and it wasn't
Yeah,
just like,
I guess Bender
Who
could
was
do
that
that.
voice?
that was
I mean, but
Fender.
again, do we really have to
Not
go?
Loki.
Can't you just go for all of us? And
I mean, if you
just
would-
relay?
What are you
What is it?
trying to get up to?
Like something productive instead of listening to cults again?
Right, if that's what it is, I might step out, but I guess as team leader, I should at least be the one to go. If
will
anybody
come.
else wants to go, welcome to.
Hey,
I mean, I think it might be good just as
Mhm.
guild kind
The
of
ghosts are back.
communication wise.
I'm going to go anyway.
Everybody go. Maybe just for the first one, right? And then if it continues, and
Yeah.
you find that you don't need the information, you can leave. But for this one, I think maybe we should all go.
Be
Stop
careful,
being lazy,
little
guys.
rabbit.
You need to.
all right.
Do you work for
you were going to be
the
more
guild?
reading stuff. So we can do that.
Yes,
later.
I was. So to help
Okay.
Creature.
Well, no, that
Right.
can actually read.
Well, I guess I'm the first one here, so I get the seat of my choice. What is the best seat in the house?
The table.
Somehow I don't feel like.
Table.
Oh, hey, sir.
Thank you for
Not
coming
table anymore.
promptly. Everyone who does not show up here will get 20 lashes.
Well, that's gonna be rough for Kiri.
Lashes.
I don't know where Kiri went.
Yeah, that's not the worst thing that someone's done in the guild. It's not the worst thing a senior member's
Because
done.
it was everyone who could hear me.
How did you do that? Was that like?
Isn't that a little bit of an
Magic.
invasion of
I
privacy?
guess so.
I didn't ask.
There.
I found the perfect spot.
True.
Yeah.
There is an open seat.
Oh, hello.
Oh no, I'm okay. I
Well,
don't
everyone here
need an
is
actual seat.
avoiding 20 lashes.
This is a very.
I felt close
Tiny
on.
seat.
I think I did.
Yeah, no, it is very small.
You can be productive. You can be productive.
Rabbit.
You can
Yep.
practice your key resistance sitting in the fire.
Is that I don't know if sitting in the fire is a good idea.
I was getting passed around a bit by that thing. It doesn't like
That
me.
seems bad.
If you can resist it, it could be.
Oh,
You're more resilient than us.
Glad to see you all.
Yeah. I'm not gonna sit in the fire, but I appreciate.
I'm just proposing.
Everyone who's not here will get 20 lashes.
20
Wow, that
lashes.
is-
Eyelashes?
Kill a man.
That's fucked
Ow.
I didn't that we start cooperating this punishment.
I mean, senior members have done a lot more fucked up stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, I had my femur broken by one of them, so 20 lashes isn't that bad.
20 lashes of feathers. That's right.
It's
Oh.
feathers.
That's okay.
So we're
that's
just gonna
like
get
the opposite
tickled.
spectrum of.
Are they like razor feathers from like a griffin or something? Is this like a trick?
Also, how far can the punishment be towards key users if key users have a protection against that kind of physical damage?
I feel like we're overanalyzing.
I feel like the higher rank, the more
Does
lashes.
it really matter? We are all here, so we should not be
Who's
concerned.
protecting against feathers? I don't know.
Is there a spell for that? Do I need feather
I thought they were
protection?
razor feathers. Am I not
Klaus
understanding?
has feather fall.
I was
My
asking
quills
if it
will
was a
protect me.
Yeah, they were just feathers.
Wait, how will I get lashed? I have quills.
This conversation is that really fitting?
I don't know. I don't know how anything works around
Maybe
here.
on the front of the
It
altar.
doesn't really matter. It was a joke.
I'm gonna get some food.
I see.
You still got your dance on.
Here's some good ribs.
yeah.
So are we waiting on anyone? Has anyone seen
Yeah, sure.
anyone
Here's some
else
ribs over
during
there.
the day that hasn't been here yet?
Didn't
That
really
one
eat,
visitor?
so-
I forget her name.
I mean, you saw
some
them
of the
awake
students.
today, this morning?
Yeah,
Has
the
anyone seen
visitor
Revna?
from the. I haven't seen Revna today.
Fish
I
lady.
don't know how long that food's been out, but you know, better than nothing.
Which fish lady?
Huh.
What's
Why
up?
are you hiding behind the portal?
So I was just looking around. Don't worry about it, Daniel.
All right.
Are you doing something?
Oh, yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes, for some reason one person isn't here.
There's a paper there.
Here, bought it.
To be fair, you didn't specify that these meetings are
Might
in
be
the
better over
library.
here. You could sit on this part though.
I did.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, you did.
They did say library.
They
didn't hear it.
absolutely
My
said.
brain must be
For me,
working
there's
late.
a piece of paper right there.
You should get your ears checked.
I should.
Oh,
get
that's
my ears
Bardus.
checked, maybe a
Or-
bit. Was he even
You need to
speaking
turn
through
up
our
the
ears?
volume on your brain.
I don't know.
Yeah, you might need to get your brain
I
checked.
don't know if I
over
can
there.
handle that.
What happened?
He did say you needed therapy.
Global announcements.
What?
Hi, Bardus.
Quickly.
Therapy.
Hey,
He
Bardus.
said I also needed it. I don't know.
Good
what
morning.
Oh,
Did you get bigger?
With blue hair and annoys the shit out of you.
Oh, you're almost the size of Kiri now.
Yourself so that I can begin this.
All right, let's move over here.
Everyone gather around. So, these
Oh,
are
but he is bigger.
this is our morning meetings. We used to have them all the time, and then we kind of stopped. But essentially, I wanted to go over some things. A lot of things have been happening. I want these to be kind of regular, especially as everything continues to pile up as they are. So, for any of you who do not know, there's been a rather, how do I say this? There was a sort of infiltration of the guild that was occurring. To those of you who do not know, there's a group. They are a cult, no better way to put it, and they worship a moon god known as Lunera, a moon god.
The bad moon people.
It's not really a fucking god. But they infiltrated the guild and are suspected to be a little bit dangerous, but we aren't entirely sure. Now there are a couple of members who are integrated into our guild
sure.
life, but they have proven to hold the guild in a high regard. So we can't just disregard them because the fact that they're a part of a religious group of weirdos. Wanted to let you know because we aren't entirely sure how dangerous these people are, if they are dangerous at all. They are an old group. They are just, I don't know what to call them. They're followers of this Lunera, and they are just something to worry about. We're not entirely sure if they have people that are going to be coming around, but if you have noticed, we've had the barrier up for a week, maybe two now. The reason for that is because people who are not authorized to come in cannot come in. Now, we are keeping this up until tonight. Tonight we are going to let down the barrier for a short time. During that time, I would like all of you to stay together, have some senior members, or Terralex, or whoever you have, keep by you. If you need, we can talk to the blacksmith, and he can get you some equipment like mana sensors so that you can be able to see if there's any mana there that doesn't really connect to the ones that you normally see. So if somebody is hiding in the shadows, you'd better understand it. The reason we are going to have the barrier down tonight is because we are going to be meeting with a certain individual. This individual is a part of a group known as the Mists. They are an informant group, and we might be trying to hire them for regular everyday things. We are thinking about redoing how we think of the recruits, giving a better system so that we aren't infiltrated by another group again. Now obviously this is going to be a little strange, but what I would like to do is anyone who is interested in leadership in the political world, in those sorts of areas, I would recommend that you talk to me and you come to me before sundown. Sundown is when we are going to have the barrier down, and we are going to be holding this deal. It's going to be very important to learn about this so that you can understand what it is I do and some of the various ways to get this done. Actually, come to me before sundown. I would say after this meeting, stay behind and we can talk a little bit about what I would like you to do to get ready for this meeting. But that's a very important thing. Be sure to keep in mind that you can easily, that while this barrier is down, we are not going to be protected. Nobody knows that we are going to be taking this barrier down besides the people in this room. So, just keep that in mind. If you see anything strange, be wary of it. Stay in groups. Make sure that you stay together. Do not split off into smaller groups. Stay together. We don't know if there's going to be any dangers. So we'd rather be safe than sorry. Keep in mind all of the things that have happened recently and all of the terrible rumors that have been going around. And I want you all to stay safe. Yes, Arthur.
What the hell is Lunera anyway? Is there like a reason that they have a problem? Like, are they historically a bit violent, or like, what's the situation there?
Well, I guess I can go into more detail because I did promise to inform everyone of this. Now, this is going to be a little bit heavy for everyone, so it might be a little bit hard to take in. Lunera lived about 3,000 years ago, and he was actually one of my two sons. Not born to me, but he was of two sons that I raised.
How many children do you have?
A little over 200. But he...
Oh my god.
No wonder he lies down all the time.
It's a lot of storks.
But he was a rather unusual child and grew to be rather violent. He was also very powerful. He had the ability to kill thousands, which he did at that point. Now, nothing is entirely certain about
music
how
for
they
this
wish
talk?
to bring him back, but it is a goal of theirs, and that can have very disastrous consequences for not just us, but everyone. We're not entirely sure, though, if that's their goal. Not entirely sure of anything. That's why I say that we need to keep on guard, and partially why we are having the mists come by. They are informants. They pretty much know everything as they stay in the shadows and listen to every conversation. Yes, Daniel.
He said, look out for anything weird, and that we're the only ones in this room that know this information. Well, what about that thing over there?
Oh yeah, we should kill it, dead ass. I wouldn't trust that thing.
No.
Like,
No,
let's get him.
Dead
So,
ass.
I mean,
It poked my eye.
just a little thing. It's just a little thing. You don't worry about it. It's a thingy thing.
It was
You-
running
you can
around
guarantee
with
that it's
bombs
like-
not
Looks
too long
like
ago.
prey.
Do you remember that?
It's not.
probably
It
an
turned
insurgent.
giant.
It does turn
And
giant.
I believe a slime killed it.
But it came back.
Okay, I mean, if you can guarantee that it's
That's pretty
And
severe.
no
probably
threat.
Another one. I mean,
What the fuck was that?
Somebody played the bass.
we don't know what it is. If you guys wanna,
It's not a
I'm not
beast,
going
kid,
to
it
tell
said
you
so.
not to touch it, but you know, if you want to keep an eye on it, then go ahead. It's not my. You should make your own decisions when it comes to things
It's
like
kind
that.
of moon-colored.
I don't believe that's going to be my
Moon's
son.
yellow.
No, that's
What?
definitely not Lunera. but
Well, they're hiding beneath you right now,
like I
like
said,
it's your
there's
son.
going to be that kind of stuff going on. Always keep that in mind. Also, Also, I wanted
Hungry
to
Rocks.
state that very soon, I'm going to be meeting with the senior members, and we might be deciding some different changes to make to teams, so that we can like better define what all of you will be doing, and what you should really focus on. I see a lot of you train and you go into certain you don't really go into certain areas. A lot of people will try to go all around, and my hope is that soon we can start to build a specialty for every team, so that all of you can like specialize in certain missions, and you can mainly focus on those, while worrying about other ones will be worried about by other teams. We'll try and figure that all out, but essentially it's going to just be specializations based on which team you're on. Now, we'll go into more detail after I talk to the seniors about that, which I don't really see anyone, so fucking great, but
Lashes for them.
like I said, we'll lashes for them. Are there any more questions? As I said, we're going to try and do this regularly so that we can all keep in the know about what's going on, and so that you guys can so I can give you guys more trust, proven to me in multiple ways that many of you are trustworthy, and that you deserve to know what's going on. Okay, well, I'm going to go with Earhart first.
I had a concern about the reasoning for why we have to lower the barrier. Couldn't we just give out one of the same symbols that each of us get to have them have access to go through and from the barrier?
That's going to be impossible at the moment, because it would require us to use some resources that are already being diverted us elsewhere. Obviously, it seems like it would be a simple solution, but the Mists have their own kind of protocol. They can't accept these things in normal circumstances. It don't take too much time to fully, what do I say, to complete those circumstances. They have a very interesting belief when it comes to all of the things that they do for their business. They are also a religious group that believe in Xenon, and in certain respects, they follow all of the ideals, and it makes that rather impossible to get this done in time. I wish I could explain it in a better sense, but you'd have to know them to understand.
I see. I'll keep that in mind.
And then...
do we know anything about the specific members of this mist that are coming?
Yes,
like about
so
their personalities or powers and such?
So that's going to be a little bit more about what I go into with the people who want to learn about leadership. But when it comes to the Mists, they all have a general... They have the very similar abilities. They typically hide in the shadows. They use shadow magic to keep themselves out of the public eye, while also learning about everything they can. So this one in particular is an old friend of mine. His name is Sulphurus Kroll. He's an old friend from my days as a merchant, and he is very respected in the Mists, but he is coming here at my behest, so that we can talk, see what they know. To keep in mind, something I forgot to mention earlier, is that some of the Mists were spotted whenever Miyu was taken. If anyone does not know as of yet, Miyu is no longer here at the guild. She was taken by this cult, which is another reason to be wary of him.
Wait. So
that was pretty critical information. So they're abducting people? What?
No,
confirmed.
The only reason, allow me to elaborate. They were a very important part of this group. And they were a part of this group before they joined the guild. So it's not like they're just randomly abducting people. They are taking the person who was already originally a part of it and taking them back.
Pickles is
From
a
my
lesson.
information, they are
Mm.
safe. Nothing's happening with them. Everything is fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna be with this guy over here. That's definitely still an abduction.
So you have
It's
information?
not random abduction, I guess, but it's still abduction.
Are you
It
taken
is.
without consent?
I mean, it doesn't really change very much, though. That's why I said to be
It
very
changes
critical.
quite a lot that they're abducting people. I feel like that's a big thing.
It doesn't change what I said earlier, is what I'm saying.
Wait, are
Okay.
the ashes the ones that abducted or the cult?
The mists.
It's not the mist.
Oh,
yeah.
the mists were the. Okay.
I was saying that some of the mist were actually spotted. Another part of this meeting is so that we can confirm whether the mists are part of this or if they're not.
And you said that we are looking to seek aid from the mists? What if they do have some sort of affiliation with some cult you speak of?
Then we will know about it. The reason I am asking this particular mist member to come by is I trust him with my life. He is a very honorable man, and they have very strict guidelines in the mists. From what I understand, whoever is assisting this cult is going directly against the guidelines of the mists. Trying to see if this is something that is widespread, something that they know about, and see if there's anything that is going to keep us from making an alliance with one of the more powerful factions in the underground world.
So, right, let me get this right. We have an evil cult which is abducting people who are part of their cult, and there are other people in the guild, so, surely they're the targets, right?
From my understanding, the only other person that is a part of the cult has not been abducted.
Yet?
Who is it?
Zacharias.
Huh.
Oh, the
Who
Yes,
is that?
senior, yes.
the researcher.
That makes sense.
The snake
So much
man?
for trusting people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It makes sense. He is a snake.
I was going to say because he
This
is
doesn't really say anything
bit
about
strong.
what I'm trying to tell you is that you shouldn't immediately assume that he is going to be a bad guy. We're not entirely sure what his affiliation is with it. We know that he is directly involved with it, not to the extent it is.
Yeah, there's a difference
I don't
between
know
being
if he
religious
knows
and being an
things about it.
extremist.
So just stay cautious. We don't know exactly
Stay
how
cautious.
deep he
That's
is.
what I'm.
You
And be wary of snakes.
you said you had
close.
knowledge that Mew
Can we
was
enter?
safe. Sorry.
From what I understand, yes.
Do you mind if I
But
ask
I do
about
not know that for sure.
where this knowledge comes from?
This comes from. I actually had some contact with the Mist beforehand. They have I put out pretty much an APB, whatever you would call it, when it comes to Miyu.
Right.
Said that they have seen her, that she's been fine at the time. That was a few days ago. With this, we will be able to have real-time information about it as well.
This is from the mist that you trust, right?
This is from the Mist that I trust. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Klaus.
Can we actually enter Zacharias' house or office? And now? Or is it off limits?
It is off limits right now. I understand your concern,
Okay.
but we are not going to just invade his privacy.
Okay,
because
I'm
he's a
just
part of
asking
a group
because
that we don't
he
agree with.
kept my 2 fingers and I was wondering if I could get them back.
What? Wait.
I think that
I think that was a very rightful
You can do
punishment.
them.
I
think that's
I think that was a
but
very
he actually
rightful
kept the
punishment.
fingers.
I
And
don't know what
it
he
kind of
does
bothered me.
with the fingers.
That's kind of
I don't-
creepy.
Yeah, he's a creep.
He is a snake.
I never asked.
That
what he
seems
did
like
with
some
the
really
fingers.
weird cult behavior, I'm not gonna
I think
lie.
you're too far gone. I don't think you can stitch fingers back on after that time. not a doctor, but I
do
don't
we
think that's
know where
I don't
Zacharias
want to
has
touch
been?
them. I just don't want him to have them.
Like as of late, I haven't seen him around.
Look, if
say that
like
again,
a dark mage that was also a serial killer.
Do we know
two
where
of your
Zacharias has
things
been?
actually
I haven't seen
used
him
for
around
some
in a few
ritual.
weeks.
Wouldn't you want them back?
with
He has
Klaus
been
on this
around.
one.
It's just
Yeah,
that
he's
he
been
was
around.
able to give various explanations, fill out various reports about the situations at hand, and it is very,
I'm gonna throw them away.
how do I say, off the books. He's trying to avoid the rest of the guild for right now, until things calm down, until we get some things sorted out, but he's very much within the premises.
I see. Thank you for letting me know.
Indeed.
Has there been any other kidnappings? Or abductions?
Didn't someone try to abduct you very recently with a big demon or something?
Yeah, it was a
The demon
demon.
we killed.
Okay, well, it was still another abduction attempt. Maybe it was related. I don't know.
I wouldn't assume that. Are there any other questions?
One, it's kind of similar to Klaus in that I gave Zacharias an arcane letter so he could help me study it. But I imagine if he's like away at the moment or just not around as much as he used to be, if you could go retrieve that for me.
Sure. I'll ask if it is something that he is able to get out of his possession.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Oh yeah, the letter is fine. Fingers no. Alright.
Well, people who are not interested in, or do not feel as if they care too much about the leadership kind of training that we are going to be doing, and helping out with the discussions with the Mist Delegate that's going to be coming by later, and you're free to leave, but those who are wanting to come by or wanting to help out with it, feel free to stay, and then we can discuss some things that I would like you to do during the day.
I'm gonna stay, but you don't have to.
Same. Probably leave it up to other people, but I'll at least see how it goes. I'll stay for the training at the very least.
I see.
I'm doing it for the info.
I'm just staying here for you.
Me too.
Hi, Bardis.
I have nothing else to do.
I left it over here.
What are we doing?
You two have met before.
Hedgehog.
Groups. People who are staying are going to be like
Hedgehog
learning about
You know how to read now, though.
some political stuff, so that they can get ready for the
yeah,
delegate
I think
that's
so.
coming.
Okay, sure.
I've written
Right.
a bunch of words with a bunch of pictures next to it. Basically, all you have to do is look at the picture and know what the word is. You should know what the words
absolutely.
are already, but the picture's there in case. All you have to do is copy the words and just like practice your
Well, I guess it seems like everybody's staying
Yeah,
almost.
just
Know
look
how
at
to
them
read. It
talking.
shouldn't be too hard. It's just like a matter of writing the words accurately.
You.
Okay.
Oh, and here's a
I'm not reading
Got it down in my head.
Alright.
the previous one that I gave you, the one with the alphabet.
Little
Just
white
practice
creatures
and
underneath
the
your
actual
desk.
letters as well.
Good for him.
I'm trying to get it sent.
Show you how to hold a quill. Basically, just like
Okay.
it's fast. Down. Get an inkwell. I don't have an inkwell. Yes, same inkwell here. Get to the.
Are you okay?
Let's go ahead and start talking about this.
I'm getting your scent. I can track you.
Yeah.
Realize that someone's getting so bored that they're starting to smell people right now. So let's.
Yeah, if we could not do that, that would be great.
Rabbit.
All right. So allow me to talk about leadership and when it comes to politics as well.
Just keep
A lot of my job as the head administrator, as well as the jobs of
Sounds good.
many team leaders, especially as they go up in the ranks, is to
Considering how it went last time, we already know
work
that
in
it's
political space as
right
well.
somehow.
many leaders will have to navigate not only their team, but also part of the political world. Whatever it comes to how your perception is in the world, there'll be many times where you might have to make a statement, especially if a mission gets really big and it causes a lot of damage. Being able to fall back on all of that's really important, as well as to like start building up connections with others while you're out in the field. A lot of the times you must understand like where the other people are coming from, understand the area a little bit, and how to speak to people. There's a few different parts about when it comes to politics, especially whenever you're meeting people to discuss terms. I want to go over that especially today, because we are going to be talking about it as a way of in this specific way, because you will have experience today with that. I'm going to be leading and directing it whenever we get into the meeting, but I would like if you were able to learn things and hopefully even participate in it if you feel confident enough. There are a few different parts about it. Firstly, obviously, no matter what, you need to make sure whatever you say with confidence. Make sure that you believe everything you say and try to say it in a fluid motion. There's sometimes that I tend to repeat things that I say, but I try to do things in a way that makes it seem like I know what I'm saying, even if I don't. That's one of the things that you must know when it comes to these people, is to be able to hold your ground, especially because there'll be many times where you might be pushed to a certain point. Understanding why things are the way they are, how they got to that point, is very, very important. Being able to negotiate terms, and being able to keep the peace during a conversation is a very important aspect as well. You've seen many of the merchants and the other individuals that have come to visit. There have been many times in which members could not keep their cool. Now there's obviously the idea and the knowledge that many of the people who will come over, or that have been here, are not really good people. Some people are racist and bigoted. But in that same vein, many of the people that come here, many of the merchants and such, represent something bigger. They may not understand exactly what's going on. They may have ideas about things that they don't know about. So showing hospitality and trying to keep the peace is always an important part of that. Because everything that happens will reflect back on at least you or the guild. If you're on guild grounds, most likely the guild. If you're out in the field, most likely your team. Mainly because on missions, you represent your team more than you do the guild, I would say. So, making sure you keep a good standing not only with the guild, but also with your team's name, very important. Another thing is, like I said earlier, was to understand who you were talking to. It's always good to do research about people that you're going to be talking to when it comes to politics beforehand. Understanding the culture, things that they hold in great value, as well as things that they dislike. And when it comes to the mists, the ones that are going to be coming today, it's fairly simple. They have a very defined culture. They definitely follow all of the principles of Xenon, and they use these principles as a guiding factor. If you remember last magic session, or last magic training, if you were all there, I said that the principles of darkness, the principles of Xenon, mainly fall into self-preservation. There's a little bit more to that, because these people not only use self-preservation, but some of the other tools that fall into Xenon's what Xenon represents. There's a couple of other things. It is profit, which is the benefit of oneself, as well as avoiding direct conflict. Whenever you follow Xenon, or at least they believe, that Xenon does not feel conflict as something that is a necessity for the most part, at least not directly. Many people who follow Xenon's beliefs will use poisons or other such things that will be their method of conflict, but direct confrontation through battle is not a belief of Xenon. This is something to keep in mind whenever they are here, and something that you can use to persuade them. I'm not exactly sure what the Mist did whenever they were here, but they had hand in involvement whenever it came to the abduction of Miyu. It's very possible that something like that could have occurred. Yes.
Are Mists the ones in hoods? Like, is their outfit like big hoods?
Kind of like black and red things coming out of their face.
Okay, yeah, okay. Right. I guess that makes sense.
Yes. But, like I said, there are many when it comes to those beliefs, those are things that we can use directly against the individuals that we might think to be as helping the cult. Things like also heresy, understanding that they are also a little bit, they take a very hard stance when it comes to heresy. Heresy includes assisting other religions in a way that undermines their understanding of Xenon. When I think about this, I think about how they are assisting this group of Lunera, which may directly go against their beliefs when it comes to Xenon. These are things I would like to use to point out to the Mist whenever they come by.
Right.
Try to use to our benefit as well. We are not a religious group, so it is very fair to say that if they are to help us, then they would not be going against the beliefs of Xenon. Another part of it is profit, something that they can obviously gain from the guild. Whenever you're talking about something and you're trying to use politics that directly involve the main part of the guild, remember that we do have a lot of resources. Not unlimited, but we do have stuff to mess around with. I can imagine that they would want quite a bit to gain for aligning themselves with us, but if we can convince them, we can use those resources and we can have a valuable ally. Trying to hit onto that point of profit. Now, when it comes to self-preservation, from what I understand, this will be more speculation. But the Eternal Night, the thing that Lunera was obsessed with, could be used to destroy many, many people if they do not follow him in his cause. If we make this clear in our conversation about that, there's no doubt that we can also feed into that idea of self-preservation. Their ideology prevents them from aligning with this cult. And it also will assist in helping us gain an ally in them. At least that's from what I have got. That's my main thought process whenever it comes to how we will deal with this tonight. Are there any questions that you have right now regarding all that's been said to this point? I know I speak a lot without asking if anyone has questions. Yeah.
What are our goals in the negotiation?
The
What are we aiming for?
negotiation, we are aiming to gain a new ally. To make sure that we are making an ally that is not, how do I say, that is not in the pawn of another group's hands. Firstly, we want to make sure that we can make an ally out of these people. Then we will try and make an ally of them. Now, whenever we do make an ally of them, if we can, then it is at least my hope that we can use them for intelligence gathering in the areas that we know nothing about when it comes to this cult, as well as making sure that things like this doesn't happen again.
Okay, and what about their goal? Except apart from self-preservation and profit, do we know something about it?
Well, their goal has always been to be knowledgeable about pretty much everything. Like I said, they are information gatherers. They sell the information at a price. Their goal as a group is just to sustain themselves and also to prosper without being in the limelight.
Got it. Okay.
Alright.
Got some ideas.
Yeah. Not sure what we can offer, but we might have something.
I would very much like if you all could participate in the conversation whenever we have them there, delegating who could represent some certain parts, as well as to try and understand how it's going. Practice a little bit fit. Talk with each other, see how you would want to think it all through.
That could be possible, yes.
And if you come to me before the delegates come, you have a good solid plan, then I will allow you to be the ones that will talk to the delegates.
Right.
Can we bring them food?
I don't think that would work very well. It'd be funny if you couldn't even find their mouth. Sorry.
If someone would be willing, we could possibly craft them an item or a weapon of sorts. Maybe as
Well,
a
you know this
peace
person,
offering.
don't you?
Do
you know anything that could play to their interest?
Perhaps we can make something for them with poison.
I can try sniffing out any poison foods.
I'm pretty okay at crafting potions if that helps.
Last time I tried to craft a healing potion, I accidentally made poison, I think, so maybe that would work.
Before the conversation goes on, Prusa, I believe your name was, right?
Yeah.
Asked me, because I do know this person, if there's anything that I can tell you about this person in particular that would help with it. Like I said, he is very much a believer of Xenon and those beliefs. He holds them true to his heart, and he makes sure to use them in every opportunity that presents himself. In that way, it plays to our advantage. Though he is also very strict about these.
About the heretics.
If you misinterpret certain things, if you try to spin them in a way that doesn't make much logical sense, very likely that he will call you out on your bullshit. Though he is quite a friendly guy, despite being a mist. A lot of people have this misconception that mists are very scary all the time. I consider him to be quite friendly. Not the worst I've ever met.
Hard to say if you can see their face.
I forget what
I'm going to go forage.
Okay, yeah.
Another question I have, though, is that if you said that they're information gatherers as well. Do they do anything else besides trade and gather information? Because you mentioned poisons. Are they assassins of some kind?
Not typically, but those who try to expose them or betray them, typically they will handle it in a way that is not direct, but still done by their own hand.
Yeah, I think I have an approach here. Definitely appeal to their logic. They don't want heretics
Should we
around
at all
there.
bring up the... I don't bring up the kidnapping or ask about our whereabouts? Or should we try to keep that more hush?
They're already aware of it, right?
When it comes to the kidnapping,
Well, we asked
they are
them about.
definitely already aware of it. They're already aware of it, but if there's certain things, I'm not sure who was involved in the kidnapping. If anyone was there, they
Right.
can show you get all the details about it. If
I
there
need to
was
go.
any
I need to go check on
violations,
something
some
real
of the
quick.
rules that you could
If
see
there's
based
anything
on
else
what I've
important,
already
make sure to
said,
tell me afterwards. All right?
That might
Very well.
help
Thank you.
the case.
All right.
Yeah, I think I can see a way to appeal to their logic side.
Well, what way do you think you could appeal?
Well, this cult, working with them, right? That's heresy on their side. They would want to, just by pure stake of Xenon, right? They'd want to stamp that out. But also the fact that we're going after this cult would bring to light the mists and their relationship to that for the people who are working with them. So they won't want that kind of exposure. So they would want to deal with it on their own, right? And stamp them out. So this would just be a way of ensuring that they kind of clean house and no unwanted attention comes to them.
Well, do we know that they were working together, though? I think that's what the point of the conversation in the first place is.
I mean, they were there when Mia was taken, so yeah.
That is true.
Go ahead and discuss with each other. I mean, you all feel free to bounce ideas off of each other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Klaus had an idea. I think it's pretty good. If you want to mention it.
We have translated a letter between the assassins and a mysterious queen. And we think that the second letter, the one we gave Zacharias, especially considering the fact that we do not possess the skills to translate it. At this point, we could actually use it as a leverage. The problem is Zacharias as the second letter. We can sure use the first one, but it's not that
Yes,
important.
I'd already sent it to the Human Kingdom, and they could have gotten that knowledge elsewhere. But it's worth a shot.
I know we haven't really always gotten along the best of terms, but I feel like
in the end, if they
this kind of situation could benefit both of us greatly here. For my own reasons, am very invested in this, and I know you have your own reasons, your attachment to Xenon. So I just think that maybe we could work together on this and come up with a plan of approach.
It's been such a long time since I've given him the letter.
I feel like you'd be pretty critical towards this. I mean, you are devout to Xenon. You kind of know the whole thing in and out.
Try
I believe in.
and have it not explode.
I don't know if the teachings up on land are any different, though. But
That white wolf seems to
I agree with
doubting
his
you.
morals.
Very long process still, even if you know a lot about it. Sitting down and doing Arcana is a whole
I could
a week worth
throw it again.
time to do. And,
Yes,
you don't have that time.
Although it didn't
mean,
end well
you-
last time.
You bring up a point, though. It's very possible the teachings could be different based on the
Right,
region.
and then that would
Maybe it's
bring up.
best we just leave out any Xenon.
Well,
Because
leave out any
perhaps whatever your
specifics.
tie is different from theirs.
I think you could bring up the fact
Yeah.
that you're
It's a
devout
good
to them.
idea to bring up Xenon.
Yeah, I just think maybe avoid specifics in case the specifics are different.
Yeah.
We bring up to
Same one, Ron.
we bring up to case about Xenon's beliefs, as per what they said, but
We also mention about the deals of the code and what they believe.
Right.
And as you were saying about bringing to light, the mists aim to avoid conflict by the sounds of it. The guild is very much a very open statement. If we have the mists work with the guild, we can take all the attention, and it can aid all of us both greatly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Though, we do have to remember, they do not wish for conflict. There is also a good chance that they do see their own members as being heretics if they were to pray to a different deity by any chance. So...
Exactly. Yep, and I think that would be a great way to help Sway to get them on our side, right? Because they don't want to deal with that bullshit. They're all about purists to Xenon and not disrespecting Xenon.
My only confusion is that Miyu is a member, Zacharias is a senior, and both were involved in some way with this cult, were they not, Fenrir? Indeed. My understanding. Then in that case, how far do you think they have their roots deepened into the mists?
I mean, that's what we're trying to figure out.
Could be worse.
But, I mean, Fenrir says he trusts this guy, right? So I think it's worth being upfront about that.
I think that it's also important to appeal to their sense of self-preservation in the idea that one of our own members were taken, and that because our own members were taken, and it could have been that they had involvement in that we would want to know the nature of what was going on. So
right, we want to work with them.
There is no.
They could tell us what side they're
also
on. If they condone the kidnapping, or they could see if we're working with the guild or the other party or not. But if they don't condone it, they're not with them. Shows us exactly where they lie between this other ash it was?
Mists.
Mist.
Oh,
Let's not push to argument with their beliefs, but also remember the first point that Fenrir said about their beliefs. Prophet, you said, did you not, Fenrir?
I was thinking about that as well, right? They want, they want Xenon. They're all about Xenon being worshipped and stuff, so maybe if we could offer them a path to having that, at the guild, maybe they would be down for that. Spreading their reach a little bit.
I see that we have two goals with speaking with them. One is ascertaining their relationship with the individuals that took Mio, and determining if they would trying to ally ourselves with them. And if we cannot ascertain their affiliation with the worshippers of Lunara, then we couldn't ally with them, which is something that we should propose. So maybe we should propose the idea. It would be in their best interest to ally themselves to us, and that the only way that they could is by informing us of this information.
Exactly. Yeah.
To be honest, even if you don't trust them, they can still be an ally. You just need to be more careful on your next steps. You know the saying, you know if someone always lies,
alright,
somehow they are more trustworthy than someone you can.
Alright, then in that case,
it's a fish kid.
We split into teams to gather resources for profit. If worse comes to worse, we can offer them up. Who here knows how to make poisons? Or has made poisons, I should say.
Does cooking count?
Adrian is not here.
Yes, Adrian was someone who mentioned about making something similar.
Yeah,
I think, Suffolk, you said something about rotten food?
I can make potions. Nothing like rotting food.
Yeah, I've made medicine before, but never any poisons. I'm sure maybe it could be similar.
We don't have to offer exactly poison. There's
Yeah,
a
I
lot
mean-
of just general commerce we have in skill to offer them. I mean, we have mines,
That is
plenty of
true.
resources, metal, steels, and our own forge.
Even just
We
straight
can
up
offer
money,
them a hand,
right?
All that stuff we have.
Hey Fenrir, how much can we offer them?
If they come.
Give me 1 second.
I feel like a general sum payment
So in
shouldn't maybe be the best
In the
thing.
guild stores, I mean, we expendable. I imagine they'll want a weekly salary for working with us. That just sounds normal to how Mist operate if they are like thinking about joining up with us. If things go a different way, obviously there'll be a different thing. But at most, I'd say 50 gold a week because this is going to the entire organization that it's going to. So 50 gold is going to be spread around all of them, and it's really all we can manage for it.
Right. Alright, so we'll try for less, but we can go up to 50.
I guess what's the lowest we should start with? Maybe 20
Lowest
and
we
bargain up
start
from
with.
there?
I think 20 might be a
A
little
week,
insulting.
right?
I would say 30.
I've never dealt with such
20
huge amounts of
gold.
money like this before.
No.
20 gold a week is
20
quite a
gold
lot.
is a lot.
Well, it's not.
Yes.
We don't know how many people would there be. I guess we don't know how many people there are, but they're very specialized, right? So it may seem like a lot to us, but I feel it's like to a specialized operation like the Mists, and it's more than just one person. It's going to multiple people.
We're not only giving them gold. We've got other plans to, like intelligence that we might have, other resources that we can gather. We could try and lighten the impacts of the gold that we give them a week.
Yeah, we can offer weapons, potions, food. I can
We start low.
mechanics and not.
The gift of bartering, per se. We say our
Exactly.
deal.
Not
what
too
will
low where they
pay-
feel insulted.
Right.
Of course, if they do feel insulted, then they will offer their own pricing arrangement.
Or they
Then we'll go from
might
there.
sour
Also,
the
don't
mood and they
forget
won't want to
that
do as much
we
business
are
with us.
Adventuring guild, mercenary guild, so
Mercenary.
we should be careful with the favors because the way they work as far as I understood, they make people do their bidding. So I wouldn't want them to ask us to kill someone in plain sight.
We're not exactly the best.
No,
of
I
assassins
think-
anyway. I doubt they'd want our
I
help at
believe-
least when
Yeah,
it comes
but
to
we have the
physical
power to
confrontations.
cause. Yeah, I think we have the power to cause political shift. And considering
Fenrir.
the position they now have, UN Nation and Peace
Do
Team,
they get others to do their bidding, or is it that they just wish to avoid a head-on-head fight?
They just wish to avoid a head-on-head fight. They don't really have a political agenda, I'd say, so they don't really see people killed.
N?
Okay.
A what?
Well, that's a
There's
risk.
like a big N made out of wood in the middle of the training grounds, and I don't know who made it.
hen?
Just seems a little concerning.
Like
Yeah,
the,
like a big N, like 3 lugs.
the letter N.
The letter?
Oh, okay.
The letter, yeah.
I was in pen, like a wooden pen. Trojan horse.
Not a hand, an N. The letter N is an N for night.
Yeah, I got it.
So did anyone make that, or should we be concerned about this at all? I'm just saying.
Well, we've been here the whole time.
It's having effects on me already.
Ooh.
Ah.
Was it
Oh,
the
yeah.
members?
There we go.
You're morphing into an ant.
I haven't seen
It's
I
true.
haven't
That's
seen
it. My body is
Surf
forming. I'm transforming.
The cult of
my
N.
God.
Oh, no.
Okay, right. Well, if anyone does,
I think
Nope.
we're going to get rid of Odd. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I'm assuming the effigy is just coincidence.
But my point is, maybe they need to retrieve some item, they need to do something dangerous. Our guild can probably provide for that.
Right. We can
Maybe.
do the more open stuff, as was discussed earlier.
And you can dabble in caves. I mean, I say we, but not me, not we. I mean, we, the
Yeah,
guild.
the guild.
Let it do it, like the professionals can do it.
The
I-
royal we.
I'm gonna be honest. I have personal investment in this, so I would very much like to be one of the people to talk with them.
This guild in general has a bad history with relations, so has to turn that around. That's at least my concern. Must be exciting
We
regard
also
as
need
just...
to. Sorry. I was going to say that we also need to make sure that the guild grounds are safe while the barrier is down, so we should also determine who is going to be patrolling the guild. And in a group.
Does the barrier have to stay down, or is it just like a door? Turn off, turn on, Fenrir?
It probably should stay down for a little bit, and it'll probably need some time before it can come back on.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I mean, you have
It
gates.
definitely has some.
You have big ass
downtime.
gates. Come on, you know, wall around the guild.
Right, I mean,
What's gonna happen?
the threats that we're worried about aren't really ones that would be bothered by gates.
I can request the.
I mean, I heard about the zombies that attacked the guild. If they
Yeah,
can get
not.
past the gates in certain areas.
I mean, those the gates would did a good
Zombies?
job, but I would say it's less about the zombies and more about the cult in general, because
Yes.
the thing with them is that they could be anywhere at any time. Like for now, I think we're pretty sure that they're not in here because we have the barrier up. But when that goes down, they could be around.
I mean, we don't know. We don't know the guy. This guy is still new. Could be a cultist.
Not part of any cult, I can assure you.
That's what a cultist would say.
What would not cultists say?
Nothing.
What's...
I'm at a cult.
Huh?
Any cults? I don't even know.
We've been
cults.
discussing methods
I
by
can't
which we
assist
could
in any cult.
appeal to
I'm not
measures
physically
that are
capable of
missed.
culting.
Need to go check on something real quick. If there's anything else important.
I think
What came up with the idea of... Oh,
Sorry.
I
Our
feel-
goals to specify are twofold.
Exactly.
We need to ascertain the relationship with the
Only
members
cultists would know
of
the
Lunara, and we want to
Adjective.
develop a relationship with them. I think that we can't develop a
What came
relationship with them
I
until
think
we
letter, by the
ascertain
way.
their
I think
position.
they're among us already.
So we can offer things.
Someone
I know
just
you're
put a
talking about the
giant
letter.
fucking soap
Did that
in the
anything
library.
come of that?
It was hidden.
I mean, I sent it off quite a while ago, and
to appeal to them.
the Human Kingdom should know about it, but I haven't heard back.
It's been up for days.
You nearly decapitated me.
sorry.
Getting out of sight.
Just,
Not just out of sight.
Oh, man. There we go.
Okay.
I will say about the one thing I could add is that
Well, still, I think
if
that
the
we should
worship
develop
Xenon,
offering
then
things.
Zoldos would definitely be someone that
And that
we should make sure talks to them, since he's very
Right.
aware.
I mean, to an extent, though, because who knows,
because it would endanger our
where
own
the differences lie, and then where those differences become heresy based off of their beliefs.
Yeah,
They can leave. Yeah.
like I said, we've
They have a letter that
I
they
think
can
the most
offer for
hurtful
information. I
thing,
don't
right,
know
would
the
be to
exact nature of that
present
letter, though.
yourself
It's-
falsely to them.
It was a letter that we got back in Roanoke. It pertained to a queen hiring these assassins to
50 gold.
do something. I don't know. It wasn't exactly clear
Resources.
what they were planning on doing, but
That would give them knowledge then.
yes, it's also possible that they already know about this knowledge. There was a second arcane letter that we haven't decrypted.
Do they know about
That they
everything with the
definitely- they must
long
know
night?
about.
Do they know about that stuff yet?
There's that.
Eternal Night, I would
Yeah.
imagine that they
Dagger
know
with a
something
rune on it
about
of
it.
some
Right.
sort.
Just trying to.
They have a lot of knowledge that a lot of people
Show them what we
wouldn't
know too.
have
Crafting.
much knowledge on. They hear about most things that go on, so I don't know. Maybe.
Just trying to see if we could offer that up as knowledge, but
Good offer.
I'll put it out there anyways, maybe just in case.
Iffy.
Hi, Bardis.
Here, have a knife.
I mean, getting confirmation if they know what's going on
Yeah.
is another part of
Nothing specialized, but
self-preservation. If they know how effective it's going to be, then they
whatever. It's not inoffensive
will see its
terrain.
importance.
that
Right.
we can produce is vastly, probably better than in other places, due to the sheer amount of variety of things that we can all do.
Exactly. There's so much things to offer them.
You got any ideas, Bardis? I know you've been a little profound recently.
Something like that. Never exactly done to legs before, so.
No, not Not today, okay. You'd be surprised, he's been quite philosophical.
Because it is endangering our own well-being.
We should definitely start off regarding Miyu.
Once
you learn about that, we can learn
What does
about
that
the
mean?
relationship with the...
That's so deep.
What was their name? The people who kidnapped him?
He's a rock, man.
Lanterns.
Just like goddamn Ratatosker. Ratatosker is a tree.
Then it's kind of mute to work with them.
That's true, but
It's a tree.
you're not just a rock. You're so much more than a rock.
I mean, you're like making it sound like Ratatosker is just a tree.
Ratatosker, I'm just, well, in the comparison, they're both much more than just a tree as well. Just more than a tree, more than a rock.
What are you gonna do? You still need to have a sort of degree again.
Yes.
All right,
We
well,
also again need to determine who's going to be
I feel like logic,
around the guild.
talking our way through that's going to be our best way, and then maybe sweeten the pot with some resources and money. What do you think, Bardis? Think that sound good?
I don't think.
The most
I'm gonna
concern would
hopefully
be
rely on their hatred of heresy a little bit.
Lunara people come around with the things down.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Probably want to have
Just use everything you have in the arsenal. I mean, that's a part of when it comes down to politics. Is just understanding the other person, understanding what's going on,
it shows that they're not,
and
Lunara doesn't
like
care about
why
their well-being.
it's important
Either
that they
side's
listen to
well-being.
you and not to
If they
someone
attack.
else.
I mean, we can prepare all we want, but the fact is that the second we first talk to them, everything's going to change a little bit. Don't know them. It'll entirely depend on their mood.
It would. Lunara seem quite.
So we'll have to be willing to adapt.
Lunara is quite violent, not like Xenon. So. Then you
I was informed by Fenrir that the blacksmith can craft a apparatus that can allow us to view mana, which we should get in a bit.
For key users as
but
well?
I'm fine with being out on patrol during that time. But yes, I believe so. I'm fine with being on patrol.
I can be
during
on
that
patrol
time,
as well.
if we can.
I can go ahead and go and request it, and also try and see if I can get your letter back when I come back. If you can talk to me about a solid plan, then we can work from there.
All right.
Okay. So general layout, figure their relations with Nara, see if they're worth even.
We're going to be having Fenrir. It's going to be Fenrir, and who else will be talking to them directly?
I mean, I would like to be one of
We
the
haven't
people
really
just because I
determined
have
that yet.
stake in it a little bit. Yes, you're.
I still think Zelda's should talk
Alright,
to them,
so-
even if their values of Xenon or his understanding of Xenon is a little different. I think just having someone who knows more about the faith than we do.
Yeah,
should be the one to
absolutely.
speak to them
Just
as
as
well.
long as don't
A
go
good
too into
possibility
details.
might be Kiri, Daniel, and Zoldos. Zoldos understands religion. Kiri's able to use mana trace, and you're able to. You have your own skin in the game.
Right, I can be convincing if I need to be.
Then
Yes,
maybe
because
you'll
it's,
throw one. Maybe give one other member.
Find out
Hey
what
guys,
the
I'm not
could be
mad
there.
yet. No, I didn't. I was kind of hoping you guys would figure that out, or else Fenris,
Figured
because
what
he's
out?
the person who knows about these things.
I guess I can have a look, but I don't think
Figured what out?
I know what it's about.
It's in
Maybe
the
it
middle
was
of the arena if you
Jotnar.
want to take a look.
Wait, why am I getting deja vu? I feel like there's been an N in the
There's a giant
arena
letter
before.
N just in the middle of the arena.
I'm getting a
an effigy.
big case of deja vu. This has definitely happened before.
Yo! Daniel, what's your beef with Zach?
So it's a long personal story. But let's just say it involves.
Is it a personal story that is likely to get you targeted?
Not by him, maybe. Well, so he says. I mean, the cult. Yeah, I already have a targeted back by them. So one of them.
You have more than one.
Yeah, more than one.
Sure. I was just saying because there's various people who are kind of looking to, like, protect you from him, if that's even possible. So maybe don't go antagonizing him anytime soon, okay? Particularly while this cult stuff's around.
Right, I'm not really one to go talk to him in general, so don't have to worry about that.
You haven't antagonized him, though, recently. You haven't had any recent fights or anything? Anything that would cause anything to be act up or go weird?
Last time we talked, I mean, we left on a disagreement, but I don't think he's going to do anything based off of that.
Oh, great. Well, okay, I was just worried, you know, because Hudson here's looking out for you, buddy, and I'm sure Bardis is as well. And, man, if you're going around antagonizing people like that, then it's going to get more people hurt than yourself. Anyway, you have a great day.
I am well aware of that, Doctor. I am doing everything I can to make sure that doesn't happen.
I will protect you.
Okay, cool. Like what?
Also, Arthur said
by not
that we
antagonizing
can speak to the groundskeeper to get you a door.
Okay.
Yeah, the grounds. Okay, yeah. I mean, he's
You replaced our windows.
very cool. Yeah, I mean, I'll talk to him, I guess.
It wasn't a problem. I didn't even have to pay for it. Sure. Yeah. Okay. All good.
How's Rux doing? How you doing, Rux?
He's doing okay. He eats apples. We figured that out a moment ago.
Great.
I fed him an apple.
Wow.
He's been pretty loud today, though. Otherwise, I'm sure he'd say hi.
Apparently, if he starts crying when you put him down, do not go near him or else he'll try to eat you.
Okay, yeah, it's good information. Okay.
Are you okay, Daniel? You seem...
No, I'm just
not well.
No, I'm good. Just a little stressed trying to figure out what to do here. Let's talk this out, Klaus. Okay, so
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. My thinking, right, is approach them, talk to them about, you know, do pleasantries and whatever. But I mean, we want to get to business. We don't want to waste their time. Talk about. Put our cards on the table pretty much about the situation from our perspective. How this cult is planning to pretty much kill everybody who doesn't follow them. And how members of theirs have been seen assisting them. Right? Lay that out on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, assure them, you know, that we don't have suspicions of them. Fenrir's vouch for them, but looking to get their assistance in dealing with this situation.
Do you know why Mio was taken?
But you're like a demon, right? Do you know anything about, like,
I mean,
magic or learning anything like that?
Are you talking to us?
Matt, you talking to us?
Do to kind of like, you know, work this out. Oh no, Brock.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, they're talking to that. All right. Right.
He seems calmed by conversation. It just helps.
Right. I mean, one day I'll introduce him to Sylvie. But
who's Sylvie?
It's, my shield.
Oh, okay.
I'm
sure that'd be lovely.
But anyways, I think, you know, bring that up. See if we can get their assistance.
Oh. Hey. Hi.
Hey.
Letter.
Oh, thank you.
How about those fingers?
And the blacksmith has the orders, and he is going to be preparing them.
Great.
We'll get them ready before sundown.
Okay.
Bring them back to you whenever they're ready. Some paperwork to do, so.
You know,
Let me know if you need anything.
This guy that we're meeting with pretty well. Is there any no-go topics? Any very touchy, sensitive kind of stuff that we should be careful around? Don't know.
I mean, as long as you just are genuine and bring your point across and don't fuck with them.
Okay, good, because I don't want to fuck around with this at all. I want to be very upfront about everything.
Okay, good. You should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I used to drink with him a lot back in the day.
Right. Okay. I'll use that information. Any tiny bit helps.
As I was asking Daniel, do we know why Mio was taken?
Well, I have a theory. I believe it's probably because, Mew was a drow. I mean, she was turned into a drow. I don't know exactly how it happened. That's never happened to my knowledge, even with, my extensive history with them, but, she was one, and, I know that Lunara was also a drow. So there's probably a connection there. So that's considering no drow has been seen on this continent in 3,000 years.
Something about a vessel.
So.
Alright, and what about the mark on her hand?
Right, she was chosen.
What I understand,
she wanted to.
it's probably Lunara's chosen family mark. Most drow have a family symbol on their hand. That one was one I didn't ever recognize, so that's why I believe it might be one of Lunara's design.
So what about do you know about the tattoo on her back?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, when she changed into a drow, there was a tattoo on her back as well. But I mean, I might have a sketch of it somewhere. But I guess if that doesn't mean anything to you, then that's nothing. Probably.
That is a fun magical ritual. This way. They go this way.
I'll send you a sketch of it. I definitely
there's a lot of magic tattoos. I have like 3, so I don't know.
Oh.
You know it now? You know the ritual?
Is it possible for a person who doesn't know magic to get a magic tattoo?
Here.
I mean, you basically have one on your back.
Oh, you mean the brand? Okay.
Yep, you did it. Good job.
Yeah, that's pretty much a magic tattoo.
Okay. Okay.
Construct.
All right. Okay. So you are very smart, Bartis. Hi, May. Hope your day's going well.
Hi. Oh, things are fine. I taught your guys' construct a cool little magic.
Magic? Wait, what was that? One more time.
What the fuck was that?
Was that like that's a M C A?
Oh.
YMCA. What does that stand for? Does anybody know what YMCA stands for?
We haven't seen a YMCA on this continent for 100 years.
What is a YMCA?
Fenrir.
Yes, what's up?
There's someone at the guild. They appear to be with a guard from the kingdom, possibly, and said that their name. He was asking for you by name. I didn't quite get what his name was, but I think it was Caldwell, I believe.
Fuck. Do you know the situation with Caldwell, right? Just to make sure, because
yeah, like Kiri murdered his son or something, right?
And there's also I don't know if there's any other information, but yes, Kiri, it's bad. Definitely don't want him around Kiri.
Okay.
And maybe
should I go?
I've spoken to him before.
Oh, he is. Yeah, no, I think he knows.
He's an asshole. Should die.
It's part of the reason I try to learn a little bit more about magic.
May's from the university.
Should I go?
Should you go talk to him?
No, talk to them. Listen to them. No, I don't want to
listen. I'm
talk.
sure it's okay, but
I know him very well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt to listen. All right, let me just ask May real quick. Maybe she has any information. Hey, real quick.
My magic's funky.
Sorry to interrupt. You're from the university, right? Do you know a man named Caldwell?
Believe so, yes.
Okay, believe so. So probably not a close kind of relationship.
Probably.
Not anything close. If you're talking about the
It's
man
a
who's
big
here, then
university,
yes.
to be fair.
It is.
Yeah,
You
he's
don't
just
usually talk to people outside your own faculty too much.
he's a very important figure from my understanding. Just wanted to make sure, but you don't know anything, so that's fine. Okay, that's fine.
At most, you just knew who I was, so because I'm a very not to brag, but I do very well in within the university. So, of course, you
very impressive.
have an eye on. Yes. Anyway, if looking for him, I think he's at your.
I wasn't looking
Fenrir's
for
house?
him, but I appreciate that. I just wanted to try to get information. Hey, are they dead?
Yo, would you mind if I ask you a question?
Hey, yeah, what's up?
So, like, this Mia, right? She was part of the cult and everything. Do you know if she, like, fucked up with anyone there in the past that they'd want to get back? Did she ever, like, kill anyone or anything like that?
I mean, she didn't really like going into the stuff that they put her through.
Oh, so there was history there.
I mean, I don't want to go around telling her history, but yeah, she's been involved with them for a bit, not necessarily by her choice. More like she was taken in at a vulnerable time. And lots of, typical cult stuff like emotional abuse and manipulation to try to make sure they stay
Not all cults are like that. I mean, I feel like there's a real wave of, like, distrust here. Sometimes it's just religious study groups.
Yeah, well, not with this one, because I just know because I've been told about it by her. So this one's a bad one, and this one's also one that's trying to bring back somebody who's gonna want to destroy pretty much everybody who doesn't follow them. So
Do you believe that?
yeah, I mean, Fenrir's son. I do believe that Fenrir would have the knowledge on that.
I don't.
Why not?
Because Fenrir has had more and more sons every single day. Maybe the reason that they don't want to talk to us or interface with us properly is A, because of history with Fenrir, and B, because of, other things. Like if a kid turns up fucked up and doesn't have a good relationship with his father, it's usually a bit 50-50, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm not saying that
in fact,
Fenrir is
usually it's
innocent.
the father's fault.
I'm just saying that
I'm just saying,
from the standpoint.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying Fenrir is innocent in any of this. I don't know that situation. I mean, that was thousands of years ago, from my understanding. What I am saying is that where things left off, it's both of them fought, his two sons, not him. It's the sun and the moon, pretty much, from my understanding, and he had to be locked away on the moon because the plan was to bring eternal darkness and.
I'm trying to have an honest conversation with you here. Could you at least try and take this seriously for like 5 seconds? I know it's been a stressful day. You and me are close, right?
Yes.
Listen, this is going to be kind of rough to hear, but I'm just wondering how much this is a guild problem. If she's got previous relationship with these guys and she had a load of history you don't want to know about, I mean, let's be honest, she was hiding her identity. She was clearly in hiding. Maybe she did something wrong.
She wasn't hiding from the
Maybe
cult.
this is more of a...
I mean, the cult knew where she was. She wasn't hiding from the cult. And she's part of the guild. We help each other here. As much as, you know...
Yeah, of course. I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, if they'd have come to us and said, okay, hand over Miyu, she's fucked up, odds are we'd have gone, okay, yeah, prove it, motherfucker, and then not listen to her, right? That explains why they wouldn't have got in contact with us or tried to do this through, like, official means or whatever. But I'm just saying, it's... If she has prior obligations and prior commitments and everything, I don't know what more could be gained from this.
Getting somebody out of a terrible situation they don't want to be in. Yeah, second chances. This is for second chances. And also, she is alive, according to Fenrir, which I really hope is accurate information. And also... she didn't want to be in that situation in the first place. She was forced into that situation.
Are you sure? Because he was really, really big on identifying that this wasn't an abduction when I questioned him on it. And he was so resistant to that point that it kind of makes me wonder if she went willingly.
I was there when it happened. It was under duress.
Under duress, okay. So she did accept, but it was... What do you mean you were there? You met them?
Yes, I was there when it happened. They pretty much threatened to kill me if she didn't go, so that's why she went.
Was anyone else there, or was it just you and her?
I mean, the hedgehog saw it, I think.
Okay.
Hudson saw it
and no
in his
one
hedgehog
else from
form.
the guild. Hudson
I
saw it in
mean,
hedgehog form. You saw it?
Ollie and Kenji showed up right after, but I don't know if they saw what went down beforehand.
Okay. And what, they just appeared out of nowhere and took her? She didn't know they were coming? She wasn't acting suspicious or anything?
Correct. They kind of just appeared because I was there. They appeared directly behind her. I saw it.
They didn't say why they wanted her, or like what's the situation with that?
No, they just demanded that she go with them.
Okay. Under threat of killing you.
Yeah,
So they would, and you think that they could have done that?
They were pretty strong, so yeah, I think they could have done that because they grabbed me by the throat and were holding me up off the ground.
Ooh, okay. Sure, okay, so we're talking that level of powerful. So we're telling these guys could just turn up, I mean, like, at any point and just grab people?
Well, that's kind of what the barrier's for, is to keep them out. But that's the risk when it goes down later.
Right. Do you think you're going to be targeted?
I don't know. I think if I was going to be targeted, I probably would have been targeted by now. They've known that I've known about them for a while. And I think it's thanks to you that I wasn't targeted.
Do we even know that they're going to come back?
I don't know.
Sounds like they got what they were after and just left.
They don't like loose ends. Yeah. If Miyu was the only one keeping me safe, now that they have Miyu, there's not really anybody here to keep the rest of us from their target. Maybe Zacharias, but Zacharias told me that he wasn't really close with the rest of the cult, so, you know, if you can trust what he says, then he doesn't really have much sway there.
I don't trust anything a senior says to me. That goes for everyone, including Fenris. It's all too much, honestly.
Yeah, you're telling me.
I mean, most of the time I'm talking with other recruits, the conversations go, how the hell are we going to protect ourselves from the seniors when one of them finally goes wacko? I mean, they go wacko enough already.
I can't say I haven't had a similar thought. I mean, that's kind of been why I've been trying to avoid Zacharias for the longest time, is because I knew he hated me, and I figured any wrong move I made to him with him would end in my... But, I don't know. I mean, Kenji seems pretty cool. Ollie, I mean, for the most part, I mean, I did see him go all creepy and covered in black stuff and talking with an evil voice. But most of the time, he's pretty cool.
Huh. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, great. So they want her for some reason, we don't know why. They can turn up anytime they want pretty much, and we only vaguely assume the barrier can actually keep us protected. They might be interested in Zacharias. Zacharias isn't exactly been forthcoming with information on that whole thing, though. And you just... Okay.
Right.
We know very little.
Damn straight we know very little. Do we even know where their, like, base of operations is or anything like that? I mean, could we go get her if we wanted?
From what Zacharias tells me, and again, you gotta take it with a grain of salt, they're split into different factions, each with varying levels of bloodlust, and so I don't know if they're all working together. I think having one central base of operations maybe goes against the whole underground stay in the shadows cult thing.
Okay, so we don't know where they are. They could be anywhere. We don't know if we're protected from them or not, and they can just abduct people left, right, and center.
Yeah, so now you kind of understand.
Plan for this is to stick together? This doesn't sound like much of a plan.
I think our plan to this is to recruit people who are strong enough to help, because I know we certainly aren't.
Okay, let me think of this through for a second. So surely, if they wanted anything more from us, they'd have made demands, right? They'd be like, we're taking Mio, and we'll only give her back if you do this. But they kind of didn't. So, I mean, to me, that's a point in favor of them just, they're done, They got what they wanted, they got out of there.
Right, well...
I'm sure they would have had no problem with killing you and walking and taking something else if they were that strong. Sounded like they had you in a position where they could have killed you anyway, right?
The issue is not the immediate threat. I don't think it's more the long-term goals of what happens if they free Lunara, and kind of how that will probably mean hundreds of thousands of people dying.
We have no way of knowing if they're anywhere... Okay, well, first of all, if we're to humor your funny little Moon Boy story, let's talk about... how the hell would Miu be even at all related to that goal?
I mean, we're just talking about it a little bit earlier. She was turned into a drow, essentially, something that hasn't been seen in millennia, I think was Finn's words.
3,000 years.
3,000 years.
Uh-huh.
So there was also something that Lunara was a drow. So then she's also marked with the symbol on her hand that apparently is Lunara's chosen one symbol.
Oh, the one she tried to get...
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So as you can see, she wanted out of it, but she was kind of being forced in there.
I sewed that back on her.
Yeah, well... I don't know if cutting off the symbol would be enough to remove that connection anyways.
Why do people keep this shit silent? Like, what
because
the fuck?
The reason it was kept silent for so long is because pretty much she and I were both under the impression that if anybody else knew, they would be killed.
Oh, great. Well, other people know now, and they didn't kill you.
Yeah, now...
So that was clearly bullshit.
I think it's because maybe, one, the barrier's helping us, and two... Fenrir is there to help protect us.
He wasn't there on the dock with you, and they didn't kill you, and you clearly know too much.
That's because I think...
If this is all to be believed, I'm going to be honest, it's a pretty
begged for my
order.
life, so... And they have plans for her, so I think they wouldn't want to...
Miu didn't have any power in that situation.
I think she has a lot of power.
Not by the way it's said.
And that she is something very useful to them, something that they want, and if at all possible, they want her to be cooperative. So, if you have a very useful...
I get it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want somebody who is kind of, from my understanding, pivotal to everything you've got going on to be very against it. You want them to work with you.
Okay, so let me just draw some strings together right now. What you're telling me, and I'm not saying I believe any of this, is that
fair.
Miu was turned into a drow. I mean, do we know that? Is that something? That's another subject.
Yes, I mean, we knew her beforehand.
We know that she did. And before transformation, did we verify because she was disguised? I mean, she clearly does disguises a lot. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, yeah, I mean, maybe they were always covering that up. I don't know. Anyway, so she's been turned into a drow, and not only that, but got some funky hand tattoo, and now her baggage has come and picked her up because. And I'm just going to draw some strings together here, because if you said Lunara was a drow and this person's a drow, are you talking about some wacko goddamn, incarnation bullshit? Is that the theory?
I don't know about incarnation. I did hear the word vessel used, so that
vessel,
maybe preparing her to be a vessel of some type.
So what? Oh, no. This isn't one of those rebirth things, is it?
I mean, that's what I'm a little afraid of. I really hope it isn't, because I really don't want that to happen to her. But
yikes. That would be rough, yeah.
That's kind of what I've been afraid of. But anyways, welcome to my life of what I've been dealing with for the past several months, so...
Okay, right, sure. So, why did Miu come here?
I think it was something to do with Zacharias. They came together, from my understanding.
A fellow cult member?
Yeah. I don't know.
They did spend a lot of time together. They plotted together.
From my understanding, his job was to
assassinate me.
look after her And I guess if that rebirth stuff is any reason, it's to look after her to make sure that nothing happens to her until her purpose could
And
be fulfilled.
how did they know she was here?
I mean, I don't think they ever didn't know she was here.
So there's no implication that Zach could have, I don't know, told them?
I'm sure that he did tell them. I'm sure that they always knew she was here. I don't think they kept their location hidden from them because they've been working.
Sure.
Well, at least Zacharias has been working with them.
So what I'm trying to get at here was Miu here for protection?
No, I think there were alternative reasons, but she wanted to stay after coming here. I think just because she made connections here and she didn't want to leave the people here.
What the fuck is that? Hi!
Hi.
Hi, sir.
Cops here! They're coming through the windows! Quickly, grab your weapons!
That's just Surf.
No, that's just Surf.
Quickly!
Artist, do your little magic ritual.
It's just Surf. It has his wings on.
Right.
Instead of smashing, he's able to do that.
Okay, maybe don't surprise people when we're being ambushed by a cult. Maybe that's not a thing you should do.
Yeah, big part of the guild is people will always show up outside windows when you least expect it.
Fair enough.
Anybody in here?
Yes, we're in here.
Hey.
Not for long, you won't be.
I'm gonna jump.
Please don't jump. Just because you land on your feet doesn't mean the fall won't hurt. Oh, did she already jump? I'm gonna make sure that she didn't die. Okay, you're alive. Okay, great.
I told you cats always land on their feet.
Yeah, landing on your feet isn't the same thing as being immune to dying from falls, though.
Yes, of course. Okay, sure.
You can land on your feet and then die because of the force of the impact.
Whatever that is.
How would you know that?
I mean, I've been crushed by somebody falling from a roof, so I know how much impact force there is.
Who's stupid enough to... Anyway. Unless they have, like, do they have wind magic? Is like I do?
No, oh, you have wind magic? Okay, that makes more sense. It wasn't Bardus, but no, they didn't have wind magic. They just jumped because they like jumping from high places. I mean, now they have wings, so I guess that's good for... That worked out. Anyways, were you listening to all of that whole conversation?
What? No, I just showed up. He
Okay,
grabbed
good.
me and we went to the window. I have to get back to what I was doing though. So.
All right. Just a heads up. The barrier. There will be a period of back.
That's true.
Hey.
You know what happened? He didn't. Yes.
Hi. There will be a period.
barrier?
There will be a period of time tonight where you might be a little. Things might be a little vulnerable. So just be careful.
A little vulnerable.
Okay. There's gonna be a period of time where, for just a little bit, for maintenance reasons, the barrier is gonna be down, just for like a short time span. So I just recommend that's going to happen tonight. So just, make sure that you're with other people or you're somewhere safe just when that happens. Just in case, because...
Do you know the reason why you killed him?
I have to file a report tonight anyway, so I'll be at the inn. So unless you think the inn's gonna get stormed and destroyed,
I don't
think that's where I'll
nothing
be.
like that should happen. Just wanted to give you a heads up because you are a guest here, and I didn't want anything to happen.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I have to write a report to get to send it off about how things have been going here and what I've observed and
how have things been going here, and what have you observed?
nothing too terrible. From what I've seen, at least. Besides the mischief, at least I wasn't seeing mass murder or anything. So,
Right,
I
yeah.
mean, you guys have that going for you. Except for the shit bucket incident, I think I'm going to omit that. I don't think we need to talk about that.
Yeah, like,
Even though it was the highlight of a single day, as in everyone was talking about it. Your guys' camaraderie is also weird, where you talk real bad about each other consistently.
What?
Mostly, most people talk very bad about you. A lot of people talk really bad
Yeah,
about
no,
you. Like,
great to know.
one tried to medically diagnose you with something, and the others
I'm sure
just
it's
said
something
you're
I
just
haven't heard before.
dumb.
Yeah.
You seem like a very nice guy. It's just that I don't know why. I don't know you as well as they do, but you seem fine. I don't really see this whole he's kind of empty up here kind of thing that people have been saying, but
if they know a lot of things.
Right, yeah. Well, some people just get preconceived notions and then something sticks. And then once it sticks, it's hard to remove that kind of thing.
Isaac this.
well, the first thing I heard from you was this is not piss. So
That's because somebody previously had told me that it looked like piss. So I just didn't want to scare the new person here, but I guess, you know, I don't make great first impressions. Is probably my biggest issue is that I make pretty terrible first impressions, and then those kind of stick. And I'm not the best with words, but that doesn't mean I'm stupid.
Yes, especially I'd like to. Yes, I would like to not continue this because it's getting dark and I would like to not get mauled by bears.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go to the inn.
All right.
The headaches are definitely getting
Hey.
more worse. So.
I'm talking about your condition.
Hello.
The trial is gonna happen in 30 days.
Hey, Birdie.
So in 2 days?
Her trial, 30 days.
30. Okay. What about our trial?
month. It's
Are
been
we all
pushed.
happening at the same time?
I don't.
No, our trial are a different thing, still undefined.
Okay. Well, after today, well, hopefully you'll gain some good knowledge to be able to help out with your trial.
This bag has a bunch of the things people need.
Like
Listen,
what?
It has the mana detectors that I was talking about.
Alright.
How many of them are there?
4.
I can't detect mana, so I might just take one.
Do you need a spell to detect mana?
Do you want to pass it around to people, Bardis? To
Do you
like
need a spell
Earhart?
to detect mana?
No, that's just a part of the item. You just activate it.
No, I mean without the item.
Activate it. It's definitely a higher level thing to do. You have to have natural mana. Have some more experience with it.
Well, actually, you're gonna be there, right? During the meeting.
Yes.
Okay, then I don't need one, right? If I'm gonna be there during the meeting, you can better give it to somebody else.
I was hoping you would realize that, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get this back to Bardis. Bardis, here's another one. Bardis, here's another one for you. I'm not gonna need it. I appreciate it though. Okay, here you go. Put it. There we go. All right. So yeah, track down Earhart. I know he's doing patrol. He'll definitely need one, and then he might be able to help point you in the direction of other people who might need one. Maybe. Yeah. I think that should be good. Thanks. You know what? I'll just walk this way too, just because. Doesn't look like there's anybody in there. How the hell do you break these trees? spending all day in one room is kind of a huge bummer. You know what? I have an idea. Might sweeten things. You just grab some booze just in case, successful deal to celebrate. Because they're drinking buddies, right?
I know of a Daniel. Why do you need to know?
I need to speak to a certain Dirty Daniel of Dirty Daniel's Detective Agency.
That would be me. I'm Detective Daniel of Detective Daniel's Detective Agency.
Oh, wonderful. I needed to, my boy. Is there a place that you do your business in?
Yeah, absolutely. Follow me right this way. Please, come. Door is always open. That's our motto here. So that's why there's no doors, because the door is always open.
It seems that's quite literal. I
yes,
believe.
exactly. And there's no other reason there's no door.
Would you like me to watch the door?
Yeah, Torn, actually, if you come with me, we might need further discussion within the dwelling.
Okay, well, this is kind of where the magic happens. So first off, introductions. You know my name.
My name is Michelangelo. It seems your reputation holds very, very normal here. I see why they call you Dirty Daniel. Yes.
Wait, who calls me Dirty Daniel?
How interesting. Nevertheless, it seems to me that you have yourself a detection agency. Is that correct to say?
That is very correct. Yes.
And within that agency, it seems me and you both need to come to a bit of an understanding.
Okay, yeah.
See, my grandmama, as you might affectionately know her as, is going to be coming to elicit your services. She lost her cat, Mrs. Pickles, and I needed for that cat to not be found. You understand?
I am with him. I protect
right
him.
now you're not.
It's okay. You can wait. You can wait in that room right over there. Everything's gonna be fine. Thank you, Hudson.
Step out.
Oh, the Madison thing.
Thank you, Tord. Like I was previously saying, I need desperately for that cat not to be found, you see. It seems she stumbled upon the advertisements of your services, and she has heard about you and your company through Guild Travelers, and I would like it very much if she does not come here. Or rather, if she does come, you accept the job, and I will pay you fairly handsomely to not find it. It's very, very important.
Right. So
will you be able to take care of this for me?
Well, let's talk a little bit. I gotta understand the situation a little bit more before I agree to this here. What is there a particular reason you don't want this cat to be found?
Do you always ask questions when your clients need investigations?
I mean, it helps with understanding what I'll be getting into. I'm not going to accept a job without knowing what I'm getting into.
His job.
And don't worry, anything that I say that's said here is protected, even if I don't take the job, which I haven't said I will or won't yet. But no matter what happens, the information between us is protected. I promise you that.
Is this? I thought this was a place of business. It seems this is a very crowded area of just looky-loos and onlookers. I thought this was a private conversation.
Hey, Hudson, could you guard the front door and just make sure nobody comes in? There we go. All right.
Thank you. I can't divulge such information to you as to why I don't want my grandmother finding Mrs. Pickles, but I need you to understand that it is very important that she does not find Mrs. Pickles.
All right. So it's not like the cat is a serial killer and you're just hoping that they don't find the cat because the cat's evil. Nothing like that.
No, but here's how it will go. Either two things can happen. Either A, I pay you to not find Mrs. Pickles. My grandmother comes and she pays you to find Mrs. Pickles, to which you will tell her you tried your best. And unfortunately, Mrs. Pickles could not be found. Or option B, my guard here will have to persuade you into not finding Mrs. Pickles, which would be the unpreferable side of things, as you can imagine.
I
Now,
prefer not to be uncouth.
You see, he prefers not to be uncouth. Now, you can get paid, which would be great, I imagine, or, you know, it could get very uncomfortable for all of us, and I think it would behoove you to just accept my proposition and accept my payment, and then not find Mrs. Pickles. It's a one-sided thing, wouldn't you say, Torn?
How much are you offering?
I will give you 5 silver to not find Mrs. Pickles. And I'm sure she will give you whatever payment you both come to an agreement with, but overall...
And if she ends up offering more, you come back to us, and we'll change the offer.
Right. I don't think 5 is going to cut it. If you're asking me to do something so, let's say, amoral, a little bit gray, then let's do a little bargaining.
He says. Amoral. No. It's fine. He's bargaining. Give him a moment. He needs to see eye to eye. Amoral. You're a very funny man. What was your name again? Your last name, sir? I didn't catch you properly.
Fenton. Daniel Fenton.
Fenton. Mr. Fenton, you are a comedian unlike anyone I've ever seen. There's no immoralness happening here at all. You see, it's very simply a transaction between two businessmen. What do you say, Torn?
Capitalism.
Right.
Capitalism.
Great. And as is prone in capitalism, we're here to negotiate cost, okay? It's very capitalistic, wouldn't you say?
He's a very funny one, isn't he, Torn? Very funny. All right. Well, name your
humorous
terms.
man.
I'm curious. I will humor you, in fact. What do you think is a fair price for these services?
Let's call it 8 silver.
8 silver. Okay.
4 up
Well, with
front,
8
4 and the
silver-
job was completed.
How about this? For 8 silver, I will give you a cat, and you deliver her that cat, and you get the other part of the payment.
Okay, so it's 4 already. Okay.
You just have a cat lying around?
No, I will give you the cat to find upon your agreement to find it with her, and I will provide. You come to me instead of searching God knows where Mrs. Pickles could be, but instead of searching up and down.
We have no
the
idea
stratosphere.
where Mrs. Pickles is, of course.
None. Yeah, so obviously. But instead of searching, my suggestion to you would just be simply to come to me, and I will give you a cat, and you provide the identical cat to my grandmama, and when everything's said and done, it should be good. She'll pay you for finding the cat, and we'll be all happy.
Really, you're getting paid double for the job.
Right. Let me think about this for a second here. Okay. I'm gonna have to say no. I appreciate your business, but that's just not the kind of work I want to take on here.
He said no.
That's very unfortunate, sir.
You really don't want to. You really don't want to do that.
No. It's fine. It's fine. He can say no. He can say no. I will warn you this, Sir Fenton. If you do happen to inquire about that cat and it brings you to some unfavorable position in life, be warned that I did give you an opportunity here to earn double. I hope the meeting with Grandmama goes well, and I suspect that, as you said before, the businessman like yourself, our conversation here won't make it to Grandmama's ears.
Right.
Because you are a businessman, and you said yourself, it's a private meeting.
I did say such.
It won't go beyond.
Yeah, sorry,
Right.
can't take. I'm not into
Well-
defrauding elderly women, so just can't accept that offer.
Defrauding.
More of his
He's
humor.
funny. He's so funny. He's so
A
funny.
comedian. I didn't know he was a comedian as well as a detective.
Now, I wouldn't maybe happen to
Seems
find
he should
this
be rolling
cat.
it.
Let's say if I found this cat though, and it was somewhere associated with you, there are traces back to you. That information wouldn't be protected.
Well, we shouldn't have to worry about that because I don't have the cat, and nor have I ever had this, Mrs. Pickles. It should
No, sir.
be a matter to mine. I just wanted to maybe brighten your day. I think, Torrin, we should take our leave.
Yeah,
you
of
have a
course,
great
sir.
one, Mr.
You
Fenton.
as well. Both of
All
you.
right. Well, after you.
I guess I'll be. Yep. You know.
Excuse
The
me, sir.
fuck?
I believe we'll be taking our leave.
You can let him out.
Pardon? Thank you. That's all for now, Mr.
Bye. What the hell? That dude totally stole his grandma's
Those are
cat.
bad people. I have their scent, it's okay.
Oh, great. Actually, I was going to ask you about that. That'll be very useful.
That was fun.
Because
I
something
was
tells
trying to
me.
talk to Daniel.
Say
Sorry,
best
Dennis.
bye.
I'm happy to hear that
Wonder-
you're doing good, though, buddy.
Maybe you can let me know if you picked up the scent of anything else on them. No, Zoldos isn't in here. Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Who was that?
That was a just an unsavory individual looking to hire me for a job, but I could not accept it because it was unsavory.
How did they get inside of the barrier?
Maybe they work with the guild. They heard about me from the
mean,
guild.
The barrier
I
also
hope you're
only weakens people whenever they enter.
No,
Right.
it prevented anyone without
Daniel,
any
they
in
were
the first place
threatening
from
you.
entering. That's what happened during the
I wasn't too scared of them,
Alright.
but
I'm not saying you were, but they were
That's why
threatening.
the undead couldn't
Right.
enter
Oh,
until they used their blades.
you got their
And
smell,
that's
so we can
where
know
I
if
think they were using some kind of magic
they
that
try anything.
allowed them to enter somehow, but it's still making them.
Bardis, you can help. We're looking.
Very confusing.
Something tells me we're going to be looking for a cat named Mrs. Pickles sometime soon.
Wait, what?
Their grandma said they may be here, so maybe they'll eventually show up and you can
You know
talk
what?
to her.
I want to take the initiative.
I do not agree with the mistreatment of animals.
Maybe after today. I mean, how nice would it be when she comes in to already have the cat ready?
That is true,
let's
but
try
we
and
do not have any way to
figure out-
track them.
You're looking
Let's try
for
and
a
search for
cat?
Zoldos.
Right, you're looking for Zoldos? Okay, yeah.
Yes, everyone needs them, apparently.
Yeah, you let me know if you see a cat.
Daniel, you should come with us.
Oh, okay. Right.
Since you're going to be part of the group talking to the
Right.
Why do
people
you need to
coming,
look
should
for a
probably
cat?
be with Zoldos.
Detective work. Oh my. It just got dark real quick.
I think the barrier. Maybe
Oh, it's going down. Yep, I see it going. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's just the mountains. What is
maybe.
happening?
It's,
Time magic.
something with the barrier, probably.
We should wait until the grandma comes. Maybe she has something that smells like the.
The library, so that's where I'm gonna head next.
Very true. Maybe she does have something that smells like it.
We should
Oh,
stick as a
yeah,
group for
no,
now.
gathering point. Yeah, we need to actually start the patrol anyways.
Did you get the, did Bardis get the thing to you?
Yes,
You gave me one. I don't know what it does.
It lets you detect magic.
It lets you see mana. Yeah, it lets you detect mana.
In case there's anything unsavory around. Alright, so I guess...
Let's try and get going.
Do you already check the library?
I think it's time to get going.
You already checked the library?
I was just about to go there, but I think that we need to start gathering for the patrol and everything now.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
And I need to. Then I guess we'll
all
need to find
together,
Zoldus.
let's all meet up and gather, and then we can go.
What does Zildus look like again?
Tall, moody,
one arm.
black and gold
Fishkin
armor.
with a floating book. Oh, I did not get it set yet. I'm sorry.
Not in here, I guess. Back through the portal, if it'll let me. I hate this portal. There we go.
You probably need it more than me.
Thank you. I'm joking.
There they are.
Hudson, really, I know I've been like wild for a while, but you need to respect boundaries, right? We need to start relearning this. If you go up and just start sniffing people without like warning, that it's a bit strange, you know. Just ask first.
I think this is everyone actually. This is perfect.
Okay, great.
Except for the woman earlier.
you've
but
already
yes.
sniffed me.
We need to determine who's
sure.
splitting into what groups. So you are going, you,
Mm.
Zoldos,
I'm just
Claus,
used to
and someone else are going to be
I understand.
meeting
Alright.
up with Fenrir. I'd recommend you all go group up with Fenrir, and then the rest of us will discuss how we can control the grounds.
All right.
Yes, so he should be making his way here now.
Let's gather the office then.
I'm not sure where he is yet.
Maybe a good, real quick for whole group. Maybe our best is this is capture the. If we find anyone, capture them. Give them.
Well,
show
also
them as
keep
a
in
demo-
mind. Oh shit! What the fuck?
The barriers
So
are
he's
weird.
changing the weather.
My knife will die.
It's just having a weird time while shutting down, I guess. But yeah. So it should be. It should be open. It should be here soon.
Okay,
And,
great.
And yeah, keep in mind that it might be more than just
I thought I.
cult members.
What's with the
It's
mist?
keeping out a lot of things.
Wait,
Mist.
never
Oh,
mind. That
might
probably
be
answers my own
Daniel.
question.
Oh, there you are. Alright.
Yo, can I ask you something of an obvious question? If
Oh.
we do see one of these cult members, what the hell are we supposed to do about them? One of them could
Hello,
hit up
Fenrir.
and you'll bite his throat.
Nice to see
Hello.
you again.
It's been a long while.
I can see you. You were waiting.
What the fuck is that?
Try to capture them?
Forgot how
It's
tall
the
you
person
were.
that we're here to meet with.
This is what the
It's been
mist
quite a
looks like.
while.
I thought just as a person. It's
No.
like,
Indeed. So we should probably continue to have our conversation in my office. We are going to be joined by a few of the groups and members of the guild. And
Very well.
What was that?
hopefully they are able to assist with all of this.
reason to stay together.
Honored to meet you.
Before we go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Daniel Fenton, member here.
let's start the patrol.
Hudson, over here.
Hudson.
And
I'm
I am
sorry.
Zodas. I am a follower of Xenon. It's a pleasure to meet you, and might I say I can give you this charity as a gift for coming this far. It is
I'll
a
accept your
poison
gift.
leaf. Thank you.
Oh, poison! I see. Well, it could definitely become useful. So, I'll accept it. It's good to see that there are worshippers of Xenon here as well. Yeah, I'm sure that Fenrir has told you all about me, but let me introduce myself. I am Sulphurous Crow. Sulphurous Crow. A member of the Mist, as you no doubt doubtedly know. Shall we get to this meeting that you want to have?
Indeed. Let's continue to my office, everyone.
All right, let's go.
Yes.
I'm just gonna stand behind the black smoke.
Is there like a... Am I the only one? Alright.
No, you're not the only
Am I
one.
the only one seeing walking shadow?
I think that's another member.
my friend.
If you're
There we
in the middle of all
go.
this mist, it's hard to see, you know.
Understood.
And we are.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, how much you mist clouds the air, but
It's lovely darkness, you know?
indeed, I can't see a seat.
Of course.
They're there. They're at the
Xenon
table
guides
here.
their pathway. And
Oh, yeah,
shadows,
there they are.
shadows
I'm gonna take our lantern
themselves.
off too.
All right.
There's another one over here.
Yeah, there's one right there.
I'm just gonna feel my way over. Yep.
All right. Like I said, it's very good to see you again, Sulfurus, and I wanted to introduce some of these younger members of the guild to some of our discussions. You know, they are the future here, and we're trying to make sure that they are able to get a fair read on everything that's going on. They've done quite a lot of research, and I'm sure they have quite a bit to say to try and like get through this conversation in a coherent way. There was a lot of troubles though recently. I'm sure you've heard about some of the events that's been going on.
Yes, that is one of the main reasons why I decided to come here. I do want to give my apologies on behalf of the Mist. That there would be traitors among us, and would act out against Xenon's beliefs, and even go as far as to kidnap people within your grounds.
It means a lot to us.
Right, so.
Indeed, that does give me some clarity, at least. That leads me to believe definitely that you had nothing to do with it. So that's wonderful to hear. We had always had worry, especially about all of this. The Mists are typically a group that likes to keep quiet and all that such. But you know, there have been times when some do not follow your same principles, and to know that you are not a part of this group definitely fills me with happiness. I know we've had a lot of times together that we shared when we would raid inns and have a lot of sorry, but neither here nor there. But this also brings up another topic that we must discuss when it comes to the traitors among your group. It's very probable that they are working with people who are planning on doing some horrid things. The person that they worship, I mean, I'm sure I don't have to tell you about the endless night and the nightmare that is.
Yes, I know about it.
It worries a lot of us at the guild, especially, and it would be our honor, as well as, I'm sure, mutually beneficial for the both of us if we could somehow turn this into an opportunity for us both to profit and to grow from such a strange turn of events. Turn it over to these two, as they have definitely had some more work that have been done. I wanted to let them feel a part of the conversation as well.
Right.
And speak your mind.
Yes. First of all, again, thank you for meeting with us. It's very very appreciated, and it's a great honor to be able to talk with you about this. One thing that I'm sure you're aware of is with this Endless Night, it'll be quite, if they have their way, it'll be quite a tragedy. It'll involve the death of many, and it's something that I think that would be mutually beneficial to sort of put a stop to. One thing is any myths associated with, if there are any myths associated with this, then that will definitely draw unwanted attention to your group as a whole, I believe. You wouldn't want, none of us want any kind of like false thoughts about the rest of the mist being dragged out here, but you know what they say, a few bad apples spoil the bunch.
Oh yes, it is a priority of ours to make sure that these traitors are brought out, and basically to make sure that there are no more people within the mist that are currently working with being blasphemous to Xenon. But I would be open to. I had considered possibly working with the guild, but I'm not too sure. That you'd have to convince me in how doing it with the guild would be beneficial to the mist. Right now, I'm not quite certain that there would be any point in working with the guild.
I mean, that's
Well,
fair,
we could just
especially
do it ourselves.
considering the Mist's history of staying neutral in conflicts. I mean, it understandably, I mean, it would be to assist one side or the other is not typically your forte.
No.
It's just depending on the circumstances, and I hope that the two of these individuals can better shine the light on that.
Right.
I would like to hear what the fellow Xenon worshipper has to say.
If you're talking.
Can't hear you, bud.
He's having some
I think he
trouble
needs
right
to
now.
step out for a moment.
Maybe I choose to be.
Yeah, sure. If you want to, Klaus, feel free.
I mean, it is. I hope it is clear enough the implications of letting the Lunara cultists do their biddings. But moreover, I think that getting rid of your traitors or your blasphemers would be a top priority for your group. And of course, with your help, your intelligence, we would be able to get rid of them. For sure. We have a lot of... The guild has a lot of experience. I'm pretty sure, knowing Fan, you know what we are capable of. Moreover, of course, this doesn't have to be a one-way of information. It doesn't have only to get on. It's only just you providing intelligence. Yeah, we could also provide something. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the recent events in Roanoke.
Yes, I'd heard that. That is part of the reason why I'm not so sure and working together. It seemed like quite a chaotic event that would be best to be stay clear from our group.
Well, you know, to stay clear for something, the best thing to do is to know it in order to avoid it. And we might have that kind of information. The kind of information that you might want and need. You see, this is the two letters. We have recovered a couple of letters, communications from the assassins in Roanoke. We managed to encode one of them, talking about a certain queen of a certain lineage. Still unsure of the real names of who's who. But we also have a second one, which is, well, very protected, very encrypted. We haven't managed to translate it yet, but considering that this kind of information is basically known only to the recipient and the sender, maybe you'll be interested in it. This is the letters on the table.
Let me have a look.
And the fact that that one
That could be your cup of tea.
is more, seems like heavily encrypted, shows its importance, I would guess.
Yeah,
well, it definitely does seem like it definitely does seem like a important letter, but when you say that you haven't been able to encrypt it, it's not really. I'm sure that it might have valuable information in it, but you have to encrypt
but
it
even the
first.
guild knows about it. Oh, so you want us to encrypt it? Of course. We thought it was more of your cup of tea, but
Well,
you
obviously we
wish
could encrypt
for us to do it?
but it's. How is to say?
It could be
It's more,
worthless.
It's more of your inability to actually see what's on the. Just to tell us, hey. We can't exactly figure out what's on this letter. We'll just give it to the mist, and they'll sort it out.
I can understand that point of it. However, you can also think of it this way: by us not knowing the contents of it, that then just makes the information something that only you would know, and then it's not split amongst the guild itself. Of course, if you want us to work further on it, on decrypting it on our end, we could absolutely do that, and then share that. It's just with that pact, then comes the fact that then we would also be aware of the contents of it.
Well, it's up to you whether you or not you want to continue in your endeavours to try and decrypt this letter, or you can give it to us. But I'm not just going to decrypt it and give you all the information.
No, we wouldn't expect that.
It gives us.
Of course.
So.
Right.
It could be part of it if you want us to have it. Yes, it could very well be.
Sure. If you wish for us to prove you that we are able to provide intelligence, sure, we will translate it and then provide you with what's written, with the content.
Very well.
Bring this back to a broader perspective.
Now that maybe Sir Zen follower is back.
Yes, if you want to take it away with, what's in it for them?
Right. Of course. I am also a devotee to Xenon, so I understand the desire to find such profit where it is needed. The guild is willing to part with, of course, a weekly aid in such a crisis. Though I understand your frustrations with your own members, we do ask that since you're following the same cause for us this once, that we can lend aid where it is due and pay you a good amount for assisting not only yourself but with us. Would 2 gold pieces for a week's work be suitable for you?
Well, I would say that the myths, or if not the best sources of information. I don't think 2 gold is quite up to par with our type of organization, unfortunately.
Of course. Then in that case, if I may inquire as to what you believe your services are worth.
Well, at the very least, I would want at least 10 gold.
10 gold.
That would be.
I see. I'll be honest with you. I have heard many great things about the Mists. How skilled as infogatherers, and not only that, devotees to Xenon. Of course, it's a heavy burden to pay such fine prices, but I've heard your skills are definitely up to par. Now, I do ask, since this is a similar matter that we are kind of both walking towards, I ask that if you would be as so far as to willing, mayhaps 5 gold pieces for your works.
I see that you're quite the barterer. But unfortunately, we're not going to go below 10 gold. Working underneath that would be beneath us.
I was just a bit curious because, as we were talking, we are aware that a few members of the Mists are heretics, so I am a bit worried about how many that may be, and how much that will reduce your workflow.
Well, we are in the middle of making sure that there are no more of these blasphemers within our group. But I will say that if we make this deal, I will personally make sure that the Mists have no longer any traitors in our group.
We appreciate that personal guarantee.
Of course, we do. That was also a little bit of a concern for me, so I'm happy to hear that.
I understand.
If I'm... So 10 gold pieces for a week's work? Sounds good. I think we can do that, right, Fenrir?
Indeed, yes.
Of course.
Very well.
I do ask, though, that you do focus on this, as obvious as it is. It is quite an important task, and as Fenrir is saying, it could cause quite a lot of damage to not only your image, but the guild and Xenon's image as well. And we don't want that, obviously.
Well, I would say that I'm quite. This whole thing is quite embarrassing for the Mist. So we definitely don't want anything like that to happen. I guess.
Of course. With those heretics gone and out the way, I'm sure the Mist will take no little time of hesitation to ensure their image is back to date. That is, of course, if the cultist even came so close as to tampering such a fine image.
Well, our image isn't much of a concern. We don't really care about what others think of us. But we don't want Xenon to be thinking poorly of us.
Right. That makes sense. So what are your thoughts of as things stand now?
We think there are still some troubling things, mainly about the merchants that come and go from the guild. There's been quite a lot of incidents of the sort of merchants being attacked, and that sort of thing. We cannot have that if we're working alongside of you.
Absolutely, those are very valid and reasonable concerns.
We need guarantees that this sort of this reputation that you've accumulated for the guild, this chaoticness, it needs to end. If any more of this happens, then I can't guarantee that the Mist will continue to aid you.
That is completely
Of course.
fair. We've actually been working on cracking
as
down
long
on that.
as... Yes. Actually, the most recent merchants that came to the guild have actually struck quite a deal with not only myself but the guild. I believe they've been tasked
by myself to go seek out the Leviathan for mineral deals. As of course you are aware, his services would be quite useful to the guild in search of resources and minerals that are quite hard for us fishkin, or well, not only us fishkin, but various degrees of people to assist. But I will not lie.
It sounds like it could be a profitable venture for the guild.
Exactly. And though I won't lie, the guild's reputation has been tarnished by various misdeeds of a few individuals, but just like us, and just like you, I hope that you can seek past that for what the guild truly is. As Fenrir once said, it is a family, is it not?
Indeed.
Exactly, and with a family we seek to aid one another. These misdeeds won't happen again, we can assure you for your stay and your help here.
Yes, just like with you, we are working very hard to ensure nothing like that happens again.
Well, I think I'll take your word on it. You seem like a devout follower. I can sense the confidence from you.
Of course.
Then I believe that as long as this is upheld, the payment of 10 gold a week is upheld, you strive towards bettering your reputation, and I believe that the Mist would be willing to help the guild, give you information that you need.
Wonderful.
Good.
That
sounds wonderful.
As a sign of good faith, maybe you could tell us if you have discovered something already. I'm sure you have acted quickly, swiftly, to at least identify the blasphemers and know where they were heading. If they were following the cultists.
Yes, they. Well, they had hiding among us. They had basically been, while still under the guise of worshipping Xenon. They had been helping this cult of Lunara and sneaking off, doing certain things, like kidnapping that one Miyu person.
So what you're trying to say is that you don't know where they are, where they went.
We believe that. Not quite. We believe that the members that kidnapped them are with the cult as of right now. But other than that, we're still gathering information.
One of their secret spaces.
We're still looking into that.
I see.
Well, to celebrate our agreement here, I heard from Finn about your drinking days. I did bring some of my personal stash of booze if you were interested. Throwing it back.
That would be wonderful.
All right. Pour you a glass.
Give it here.
There you go.
Here. I see. I'll just take the bottle.
You just take the bottle, yeah. Go for it.
Give me a bottle too. I want a bottle too.
I only brought one, but let me go get another one.
All right,
I'll
go
be
give
right
me
back.
a bottle, boy.
Hey there.
Daniel?
Hey, things going well. I just gotta get some booze. Booze.
Okay, that's good. We're looking for Bardis, because Bardis was taken by one of the Shades that's been attacking.
What?
They took Bardis
And Arthur?
Don't go alone.
Okay. I'll just grab everything I have. When was this?
2 minutes ago, give or take.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I will go drop this off, and then I will join that. Oh my Bardis.
That is good to hear.
How do I get it?
I myself loved to learn more about Xenon and his
All right. I got
His
a bunch of bottles
qualities
here.
that he brings and embodies to his worshippers.
All right, bottles all around.
I am here.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you.
All right.
So as long as you're true to yourself and your self-preservation, your natural instincts,
Can we talk outside?
seen and look good upon you. I can see that you're a good worship. You're a devout follower.
If you'll excuse us, there is very short business we need to attend to. We will be back very soon.
Of course.
You want a bottle of booze while you're here? Everybody's celebrating.
I think I can stay.
No? Okay. All good. Hey, so apparently
maybe
Bardis
move away from.
Bardis was taken by a shade just recently.
Taken, like, abducted too?
Yeah, along with Doc, Thea.
Along with who?
The Doc, Thea, Arthur, Thea, Arthur, Thea,
Oh.
one of those. Backpack.
The doctor is fine. Tia was okay, anyway, confuse me. So it's a shade, right? It's not a mist or something. It's like a specter.
Yeah,
So they should be around, right?
Yeah, that's what they say. I honestly have no idea of how to even begin, but I know that everybody was looking for them. I just wanted to pass this information along. I don't know, whether we should go back to the meeting and trust them with it, or...
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
The departure team doesn't know anything we don't, so...
Okay.
We should really go back to it. Never mind.
Business is done.
Great.
We may take our
Alright.
leave.
Wonderful.
They are finalizing everything. It all
Well,
went
let's
well.
say goodbye then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't need any more.
Alright, cool. I'll just,
You three
You just
stick
lucked
with
me
her.
with that? Did you just
No, I
luck me
didn't.
with the book? Right.
My book has a mind of its own. It follows me. I don't choose where it goes. I did at once with a chain, but just didn't do anything. Anyway.
okay, great.
Stick with me. It is
Well,
nice.
we should say goodbye.
Yeah, we should say our thanks.
You two wanted to say goodbye. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Very well. If
Just be polite. We left for a quick walk, for a quick talk, I guess.
Very
No.
well.
Nope, they're gone.
Are they gone? Oh, are they having sex up here? No. Okay.
Alright. Yeah, it's cool, they're gone. Alright, they're gone. All good.
Yes, I would assume so.
Right.
Well,
There have been some shades spotted around, I guess, during the barrier being down, and they did happen to take the doctor and Bardis, so that is our next priority, I guess.
where is Arthur?
I don't know, taken by a shade.
He was taken.
He was. Let's go after them.
Got a quick question. Is anyone actively looking for Bardis?
I can't.
Yes,
can
all
I
of
punch
us
a
are
ghost?
looking for you.
Okay. I have faith in you.
Go to the arena. That is where they are surely all are.
That's where they always tend to be. I don't know if that's where they are now. Wait, I want to.
What's in the arena? There is everyone.
Is anybody in the inn? It's really dark in here. I can't see.
Yeah, I can't see shit. I
Okay.
tried to get a lantern, but actually, Carrot, can you actually spawn a lantern for me? Because apparently
Yeah.
I cannot spawn anything else.
No, they are not.
Maybe there's one right here. Nope, it's not.
They
It's,
aren't there.
nope. Okay, it didn't spawn.
Okay, I will just pretend to have a lantern then. Alright.
No one's here either.
What is going on over here? This just...
I just
Hey.
want to ask, you're not down in the cave, are you? Because we're directed to leave, and if we're not going to go down there, we don't want to make you wait in the cave, Bardus.
I don't know how much I can help with this, but
hi,
possibly still down in the cave.
Where's the doctor?
I see.
Hi! How's it going?
Okay.
Hey, Doc.
Everything all right?
Yours is
Yeah, just about. I was near enough abducted.
Yeah, meeting's over.
It went well.
I don't need a spear,
It
but
went
do we have a
well.
light
We're paying them 10 gold
or something?
Thank
This
God.
is the-
Come on.
I got my fist.
Come on, they stole
Bardus
our
was
lights.
taken.
Yeah, I heard that.
The fists don't work. I tried.
I got
Hudson
key
thinks she's
fists.
in the cave, but we went in the cave and there was a load of like, well, how should we say, elementals? I think we
Bardus!
called them, who would be good.
Hey, Elemental, thank you for returning Bardus. Appreciate it. Look forward to working in tandem with you and respecting your boundaries at the guild. Hey, we good, right? Oh! You just disappeared.
This seems like a situation.
Listen, we got everybody out, right? We got everybody else.
That's not the shade.
It's an elemental. It's an elemental.
Yes, yes.
We'll leave it alone.
Bardus.
Hi, Bardus. You good?
You okay?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't not hurt. Okay. All right, let's go. It's real dark. This way.
I told you he was in there.
I want you to stand right here, and I want you to look around and see if there's anything out of the ordinary that's popping up. Just move your head side to side. See if you see anything while you're looking at the sky.
Oh.
What is that dot?
All right.
What is this dot?
Where's the moon?
I don't know. I'm guessing it has something to do with the fire, but there's.
I'm assuming so as well.
Can I control fire with my mind?
I think so. That's what we should learn from this.
All right. But hey, oh my, the fuck?
Look in this direction. Stand here, and just move your head around, and you'll.
Says a shade.
Got a friend?
Like this.
We'll just.
In this direction.
We'll rescue this.
I just had to save Bardus.
Maybe we should go to a place with more lights.
We'll just rescue this. What's?
Are you two okay? Heading to town. Don't need to tell me.
All right. Everybody go. Everybody go.
Go, Bardus.
Come on, Bardus.
Bardus.
You got this.
Daniel, are you okay?
Yeah, I think I'm okay. I don't know.
Keep going first. I'll be behind.
I mean, I kind of got the super hard body, so let's just both go together.
Keep moving. Through the portal.
So far behind you.
Just go.
Yeah, just go on in.
Go, Daniel.
Okay. Where's a nice lit up place?
The guild hall.
Is the guild hall lit up? Oh, they're over here. Okay. Hey.
I'm not seeing anything on the compass over there.
Everyone,
Of course.
meet up in the
Compass.
guild hall. Teal
Oh,
portal.
right.
Okay.
Very well.
Best point gives us all the advantage that we need. Has a light in it and gives us.
Hey, Kiri. You okay?
Alright.
Be careful. Are you doing Did I
I'm
try
good.
to take you again?
I guess.
My gun seems to work, so it's not a problem.
Wait, I need to water my flowers.
Daniel, it doesn't matter. Later.
It does matter. punch.
Just get going. Just go. Just go.
Good thing you're wearing armor, huh?
No, I'm fine. I just don't need people near me when I'm doing stuff.
Alright, go in, Bardis.
Will you be okay? Yes, I will be fine. Keep going.
Let me through the fucking portal. You know, it's not, it's for someplace supposedly light, it's not that light.
Come, everyone, stand against the light.
It's a dark
I'm
light.
good. I don't want to dry up.
I noticed a shimmer.
It's making me kind of sweaty.
I noticed a shimmer whenever
You're saying
it gets
friends
closer
are
to the light source.
See them?
Daniel, oh my god.
Hi.
Looks a lot like one, doesn't he? That's got me a couple of times.
What's going on?
Oh,
oh my.
Oh,
Are they here?
there's one in here. I saw it. I can see it over there.
I just grabbed one.
I can't see shit.
I just got grabbed.
Alright. I really can't see shit. Alright. That's not Kiryu, that's a banister.
Stairs right over there.
Where is it?
Do you need the light?
Hey, somebody let me know if you see a cat anywhere. Named Mrs. Pickles.
I see cat descending the stairs. On the compass. Is there an upstairs?
Careful, Daniel.
Right.
Everyone's accounted for.
It just moved.
I'm gonna trust you with this
Cross.
compass, man.
We're in the guild. We're in the guild hall if you need us.
Down here?
Don't go anywhere. Where is he?
What the fuck y'all in here?
Cause there's like a shades attacking, I guess, or something.
Shades attacking.
Hi.
Can we get
Shades
that
aren't that bad.
barrier back up?
Oh.
I mean, it's coming back up. It just takes some time.
Why do you look so
Hi.
relaxed? We're being attacked.
Shades are not
Friend.
that terrible.
That's
I
true.
mean,
They're not
they're
that
just the
strong.
remnants
They
of
try
dead
to-
people.
They're just
They try to
abductors.
take
They're just really extreme pranksters, and what you
He's
do
like
is
a
you help them
small
know, you give them a
rock.
slap on the wrist and send them on their way.
He's a big rock
Yeah,
now.
I'm a rock.
You would
Slightly
have
bigger rock.
noticed. I mean, they are ethereal.
You're a horrible leader.
I think I was grabbed. Let's get
What?
this over
I just
with.
know that shades aren't a big deal.
Keep an eye on your compass.
They literally
and see
take
what's
3
going on.
swings of
There
like
it
a
is.
normal sword to start like actually disappearing. And they are just remnants. They're
Sword of the man
scared.
3 times if we get him as well.
Not
I'm pretty
really.
scared of
If
man.
you're not nervous about it, then I mean, typically they won't try and harm you.
All right, everybody. If you just chill out, apparently we'll be good.
Yeah, just chill out and you'll be fine.
Just chill out, enjoy the campfire, and I guess they won't attack.
They can come through the portal, so I don't know what this is gonna do.
It's so dark. Hey, we're just chilling here. No need to. We got chill vibes. We're not here to hurt anybody.
I clearly went above it.
He's using him as a weapon.
Hey, I'm just gonna do it like.
I am so
Go for the
confused.
legs. Stab. I'm just stabbing the legs.
Bardis?
I'm beneath Bardis.
I got you, buddy. Let's go.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, I mean,
All right, Bardis recovered.
Along with breaking out a
They
lantern.
just dropped the Ironheart from a balcony.
I do the thing.
What the?
Mute.
Silent.
Damn it!
What just happened?
from the table where Fenrir was, you can see a cube.